people, but you cannot mess with Andrew Chizar.
He's going to write 2 articles.
2 articles.
Not just one.
Did you guys know that Mildred Burke is the number 5 ranked women's wrestler on all of Cage Match?
That can't possibly be true.
She has a 9.66.
I fully believe that, actually.
She is... How many people can we go here? Japan.
That has to be like because of the film, right?
Or something. She is the only woman out of the top 45 who is not from Japan. And number 46 is from South Korea. Number 50, the next American in the list is Gia Miller from TNA.
Mid-50s.
That might have been her TNA gimmick. I don't know. This list is this is even worse than all of Porik's lists. It's making me so mad.
I like the 7 out of 10 she's got. I guess she was pretty good, but for me, she wasn't special. I guess she kind of trailblazed for the women, but her type of wrestling isn't for me.
Did you know that Ancham is number 69, top wrestlers of all time? Did you know that the 82nd best woman wrestler of all time is Renee Paquette?
That's so
Awesome.
cool.
I actually did know that, yeah.
I'm losing my mind the more I look at this.
All right, let's get into this beautiful business.
You are now tuned in to your number 1 radio station. Violent People! Radio.
Welcome to Violent People Radio, episode 91. I am Dan Rice. I am joined, as always, by Pat. Pat, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm also joined, as always, by Chris. Chris, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing the best I've ever been.
I'm also officially joined by the new, as always, the new 4th chair, Orchid.
Yeah, I've good. Yeah, I've signed the contract. I'm celebrating by cracking open a nootropic beverage. So I don't know what that's going to do to my brain. And before we actually just get started, I do just want to just thank y'all. I feel honored to do this.
I am so happy that you are with us.
Yeah,
God, I had to talk to Sam for so long.
I will say, when you said
talk to Dan,
I thought you were quitting. I thought you were like, I'm going to take this opportunity to say that I'm actually quitting the podcast.
God, we'd have to go to Porik.
Oh, I already talked to Porik once this week.
I do look forward to the day that the 4 is none of us. Me and Chris, we're both gone. It's all 4 new people.
No, you can be here. As long as I'm gone, I don't give a shit about.
That's all you care about. I don't know.
Yeah, once I get to greener pastures. I want Pat to escape too.
Thank you.
Just me and you, Dan.
This is doing it. We're doing it. Me and you, and then I'll schedule Porik every week, but he's not coming on. Like, no, stay awake. Stay awake. We might need you. Be on standby. Now I tried to have as a special guest this week Zach Brown, but he wasn't available.
He was fishing. He was spear fishing.
Oh my god, it's so fucking stupid.
Jeff Probst needs to be killed.
It's the only way.
You can't. I hate to say it. As a big Survivor fan, I hate to say that Jeff Probst needs to be killed, but there's no other solution.
Listen, I'm a man always searching for a father figure, and Jeff Probst was there for a while, but he's dead to me.
But you
Good
know
thing
what?
Pat's here.
You know what's always there? Little bit of chicken fried.
I feel blessed that today's the first time I've literally ever heard of Zach Brown ever.
Oh shit,
I
man.
feel like my life has taken some good turns to lead me to that point.
Yeah, he sucks shit. Even compared to other country artists who just want to fuck their fish and drink their beer, Zach Brown sucks.
I'm focused on how unhappy I am that I know who this is now. Because prior to this, I had never heard that name.
Cold beer on a Friday night.
I mean, that's
I wanna
everybody.
suck a troop.
Oh my god.
Okay, maybe I have more in common with him than I thought.
No,
And
he
his
does-
dick is up.
Is that Chicken Fried the one where he takes a minute to just shout out the troops?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a full verse dedicated to.
I
The
couldn't
ones who
remember if
died.
it was Chicken Fried or Toes.
I mean, I want to suck a troop's toes.
That's
too.
what I thought. Maybe
Oh my
We
god!
are so lucky we don't have advertisers.
Could you
They'd be like-
imagine?
I can imagine making Dan read the ads every week easily.
I have no idea what Sam's actual job is, but I think it's getting ads for podcasts, and he should be doing that for us.
I mean, I'd love to hear you read a manscaping ad once a week. That would be fantastic to me.
Then we'd have to go video pod for that.
I would want to know what kind of stuff Sam is getting. I listened to a podcast at work where one of the ads was for it was like a Factor meals type thing for people who don't want to go to the grocery store or go out to eat, just get the stuff sent to you. But it was for pesticides. It was, we'll send you the chemicals and stuff, and you can do your own roach spraying. You don't have to pay a professional.
Okay,
And
this is keep going. This is hilarious.
But I was just kind of like, what the fuck kind of insane person takes money to tell people, yeah, just go order some roach poison online?
Is it doitmyown.com or something?
No, it's called Pesty.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Because my insect guy, he fucked me a little. He shows up 2 days ago and he
Nice.
knocks on the
Okay,
door.
so I inadvertently just gave Pesty a sale now.
Yeah, well, I've
I
already
hate
looked
when
into
my
this.
insect guy fucks.
I
me.
have already
I
looked into
love when
doing it
your
myself.
insects guy fucks you.
That's the
Listen,
plot of Naked Lunch.
he
actually.
knocks on the door and he goes, "Hey, it seems like now this is my fault. This is about me not being good with money or paying attention to my bank account." He says, "Since we switched over to the new system, you haven't had a card on file." I go, "Oh, when did that happen?" He goes, "Last April."
Oh God.
Oh, am I in debt, Mr. Big Cockroach Dick?
And I had to pay it off. Okay, I had to pay it off. So rather than do that again, I started looking at doitmyown.com.
What was the rent increase on your tenants for this?
I'm taking it out on them. I'm
Oh,
getting the
they have-
pesticide shipped straight to their place.
They have even less heat. Giannis looks like a saint.
Oh, good callback.
Yeah, I'm full of them.
I'm really gonna enjoy this last 5 minutes of you being on the pod, man. You're bringing your A game for your swan song.
Yeah, it's my retirement match.
You're like, leave it all in the ring.
Is your heart gonna stop?
No.
Mm.
I'll still be alive. I just don't want to fucking do this anymore. So like you all figure it out.
He just wants to be a fucking bartender that lives in Wisconsin.
I do love bartending, my famous job of being a bartender.
That we all know and love. I just think you'd
It's
be a
really
great
weird how
bartender.
you and Simon work at the same bar.
Yeah, it's crazy. Uh we work at the same bar. We talk about the Pistons in Michigan, and we don't know what each other looks like because we're always on the opposite shift. But it's the
Do
same
you
bar.
do you leave each other notes? Like, how do you talk
Uh,
about the Pistons?
oh, we just go, I want to fucking kill myself, and we leave that note, and we know it's each other.
I think your Pistons might be fucking me right now. Let me look. Oh no, they're not. Okay, they need to win by less than 13. 13 or under. We're
I
looking
mean,
okay
I
right now.
know Cade's out, but it's against the Wizards, dude.
If I'm being
Like,
honest, I actually wanted it to be 15 and a half, but I wasn't paying attention to what I was clicking. So I got
like,
13. I got 13 and a half, but I'm sticking with it.
like the Pistons have been fine without Cade most of the year in regular season, but also
They've
this is
actually
against the fucking Wizards.
covered the
They're
spread more without Cade than they have with Cade.
Yeah, yeah, and this is the fucking Wizards, dude. Like Jalen Duren, he's got 5 minutes in the third. Like he's gonna finish this game with 40.
That's like a
Like,
bad performance, though.
like, like you're fucked, Dan, and I'm happy to facilitate that.
Wait, you took the
I,
Wizards?
I took the Wizards plus 13 and a half.
That's fucking embarrassing. I
And
mean,
that
come
there
on.
that hits right now. If the game ends right now, it hits. I also took in that same parlay, Magic Hornets over 225. That's gonna hit easily. I also took Spurs minus 8.5. That's gonna not hit. That's gonna fuck me.
What
And
what what did you
and then the
put
Heat.
into this, and what do you stand to make if you hit everything?
I mean,
Like, what are the stakes here?
this is just a $10. This is a $10 bet to win 134.
Okay.
Was it a 3-team parlay?
14 parlay.
4-team parlay,
And I
okay.
also have what's my game. We're getting to the questions early, but I also have tonight. I have the Blue Jackets to win by 1, and that's $5 to win $40.
Yeah, you have the Blue Jackets to win. You have massive problems.
I have problems. And instead of watching these games, I got money on. I got to talk to you guys, I guess, about wrestling. The Orchid made it clear that they didn't want to talk about wrestling if they were the fourth chair.
Did I?
No.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, okay. Didn't you guys watch that shit though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's hear it then. Is it
So
Game Changer Wrestling?
I was gonna say, have you guys heard of a little promotion called Game Changer Wrestling?
Yeah,
No,
Brett's
tell me
back.
about it.
Brett is
Hey, what's it
back.
about?
Brett is usually back. You know who needs to be more back? The crowds. So I haven't watched the main event of the second show. I just ran out of time. But I watched their Atlantic City shows from this past weekend. I think it's Ashes to Ashes and So Much Fun. I can't remember I fucking hate Brett's show names.
That you
He
got both of those
needs to
right.
call them something cool like, Produce Volume 1, The Octopus. But have you guys been to the current venue that they have in the Showboat?
No.
So it's a huge event space. It's like if you were holding like a car convention, if you were going to see like vintage cars and stuff like that, it's that kind of huge space. It's meant to accommodate a lot of people, a lot of like vendor booths. You could use it for like a job fair or something like that. When you put 125 wrestling fans in a ring in, and then just put up some curtains to block off the rest of the space, the sound just vanishes. It becomes like a void. And that's pretty much what happens. Also, it's New Jersey, so they're just, fucking bad crowds. But Connor Claxton and Otis Cogar did a 17-minute match to zero reaction, and only some of that was because it was a pretty boring match. But then Connor Claxton, he jumps off a scaffold through a shitload of light tubes, and the crowd goes positively mild. And I can't tell if it's just is this crowd that bad, or is the venue space just swallowing all the noise? And I think it's both. But yeah, there was nothing really worth going out of your way, unless it turns out Christian Napier versus Matt Tremont is a match of the year contender. That's the one I haven't gotten to yet. Nothing you really need to stop, drop, and watch. I had high hopes for Atticus Cogar versus Slade. They did some fun stuff, but they were holding back. And it's strange to say that they're holding back in a match where Slade got about 90 skewers stuck into his head, but such is the way of life. Connor Claxton, better spray tan than anyone else on the show, but unfortunately he's washed, and even more unfortunately, he's still Connor Claxton.
Yeah.
And Effie is getting to the point where he needs to decide if he wants to lose a hair versus hair match sometime soon. He's really getting to that. The friend of the show, Allie Catch, challenged him to a loser leaves GCW forever match at spring break. And considering that this Sunday she is wrestling for the WWE ID Women's Championship with a WWE ID deal on the line, I think that might be telegraphing what's going to happen with that match.
So do they team back up to then break up again?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So the idea is that Effie is going crazy and is trying to stab people with screwdrivers and stuff like that. And I was live tweeting watching the first night because I actually watched it live. And Effie actually liked my tweet summarizing his current character as the time when the Coney 2012 guy was running around like jerking off onto cars. That's pretty much Effie's character right now.
Oh, she's retweeting tons of WWE stuff too.
Yeah.
I can't think of a less WWE, but more WWE ID wrestler than Allie Catch.
Yeah, God bless her.
Truly.
Well, it's been a while. I mean, it's been like 10 years since they tried with Kimberly. They're due for another.
Now, how was Busta and the Brain against Don Freeze and Ruckus?
That was fine.
All right, hell yeah.
Don Freeze was fine. Ruckus was fine. Bust on the Brain, they're their usual selves. There was a lot of these two nights where I watched it, and if you asked me 5 minutes later to tell you something that happened in the match, I just would be sitting there staring blankly.
All right.
You know,
watch anything
I
else?
apologize. I apologize to Sam that Don Freeze is not making
like-
me commit to memory all of his moves, but
What does Don Freeze got to do to get a cage match? Is what I got to ask.
Yeah, I think
probably
he's
got to
got.
suck off some German guys.
Oh, he does not have a cage match.
Not
Poor guy.
yeah. Ooh.
You got to let Striga hit, Don.
Das ist gut. Oh yeah.
The fuck?
Oh my god.
Anyway, so that's most of what I was. I'm still trying to catch up on stuff, but it's going very slowly because I keep falling into the trap of I get home from work and I say, do I want to watch wrestling or do I want to do literally anything else?
That's fair. Uh, Chris, since you might be leaving any minute, what wrestling did you watch?
I did more watching random shit from January of this year. Uh so uh I watched some CMLL, uh mostly highlighted by tag matches involving Mystico. Because that's a pretty good wrestler if you guys didn't know, Mystico.
I'll look into him.
Well, he goes by Dralistico now.
Oh, damn. Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I watched the January 2nd show, Atlantis Jr., Mascara Dorada, and Mystico versus Cavernario, Soberano Jr., and Volador Jr. Very fun trios match. The next night, Cavernario and Soberano Jr. versus Mystico and Templario. And then the January 6th match, another Esfinge, Mascaro Dorada and Mystico against Gran Guerrero, Stuka Jr., and Ultimo Guerrero. And then a lightning match with Blue Panther and Defunto, another highlight. Some people will be like, "Oh, it was slow." It was like why wasn't Blue Panther working fast in this lightning match? You should go to hell. This match was beautiful. Uh, Blue Panther does his patented insane dives for a person of that age. Defunto does his patented uh selling for like bumping his ass off, uh like treating Blue Panther like he is a man half of Blue Panther's age, and it is lovely. I enjoyed the hell out of that lightning match. It is why they run lightning matches like I don't want to see two guys on like in their mid 30s like going all out having a fun match. No, I want to see Blue Panther doing like 3 dives, taking everything out of it, and Defunto just treating it like treating one Blue Panther dive like it is Mystico or Mascara Dorada or whoever the fuck uh trying to kill him, and uh really lovely stuff. Uh I also watched some IWRG. I went back to Arena Nakopan uh and watched some of their first shows of the year. Very fun match with Hellboy, Noisy Boy, and Spiderfly versus Superboy, Toxin, and Vengador. Uh, but a very solid Thursday show of Hysteriosis versus Principe Centauro. Uh, Very fun match with Noisy Boy and Toxin. Awesome trios match with Aguila Oriental, Freelance, and Spiderfly, and I'm already considering like even as someone that I believe has the high vote on Freelance from last year, I don't think I rated him highly enough because he's just fucking on one lately. Um Against Multifacetico Jr., Puma de Oro, and Ray Hassan. And then the main event of that very fun IWRG January show is Bombero Infernal versus Chessman versus Hellboy versus Io de Canis Lupus. And like from what I saw, there are people who are whining and like all these fucking old guys are ruining IWRG. What is wrong with you? Like Bombero and like a four-way with a guy who uh in Chessman like is on the outside looking in for all of the AAA WWE stuff. Like Pagano is somehow making all of those shows, but Chessman didn't make it. Now he's back. Like now he's in IWRG every week, and it's awesome. Bombero Infernal, who had one of the feuds of the year with Cerebro Negro, and Hellboy and Io de Canis Lupus, who are just solid workers every week. Uh, lovely, lovely stuff. And if you find no joy in this, you have no joy in your soul. And uh, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for your soul. Uh, also watched the King Phantom January
Hell
1st
yeah.
show.
The true best promotion in Mexico.
Yeah, very very, very awesome Atomicos match with Brother Celestial, Furia Negra, uh, Pancho Pantero, and Torito Negro versus Drago Kid, Skylar, Sobredosis, and Visionario. But finally watched the first Reina Obscura versus Sadika match from this year, and that is just lovely stuff.
They're wrestling. They're keeping the feud going on the 27th. TKP's back in Arena San Juan Panticlan, or as we call it, the Cathedral of Lucha Libre.
It it
Uh,
truly is the cathedral of lucha libre.
it is honestly, aesthetically, it's my favorite venue right now.
It is it is such a disgusting place in the most
And this
beautiful
is
way.
after it was closed for a year to fix it.
Yeah.
But the 27th, we get Sadika and Sobredosis versus Reina Oscura and Rocambole.
Yeah, they've like Reina Obscura and Sadika have had multiple singles matches already, and it feels like they're just going to be like dragging this out for maybe the rest of the year.
I think the anniversary show for Arena San Juan Panticlan would be in June. So if it doesn't happen in June, they're dragging it out for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And I mean, even up until then, if it's just like every month they have a singles match that goes to a no contest or a tag match with uh other sick motherfuckers that also goes to a no contest, I will watch every bit of it.
So I pulled
Um,
up that 27th card. On top of just being cool, does Arez, like El Clone, just prove that all AEW wrestlers are lazy? Because I feel
Yes.
like he still works the same number of indies.
How many
He's made
countries has he worked at this
he
point
he's
this
main
year?
eventing it against Toxine and Latigo, which will rock.
yeah, he's still like finishing off some feuds in Mexico. Uh he still worked the 16 carat weekend, and so he's still going like very strong. And he's getting like at least one highlight match a week in AEW. And so this is what I want from Arez. Um he's just still fucking going. He's still one of the best going. Um, it doesn't matter that he's in Tony's prison. It doesn't matter that he is in the family. Like, he's still going to fucking work those weekend indie lucha dates. Uh, and maybe he gets some more paydays and he stops, but right now he's still chugging as one of the best indie luchadors in the business, even though he's got a big American contract. And it seems so far that Tony likes him. Uh, but like, I mean, we've seen joint, uh, AEW and New Japan deals, AEW and CMLL deals. Finally, we may have a joint AEW, uh, the King Phantom deal, and that's way more important than any other joint deal in the history of AEW so far, and I fully support it.
Plus, I mean, he just likes getting paychecks more than Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, better wrestler than Kyle Fletcher, gets more money than
Absolutely.
Kyle Fletcher.
Well, he
Uh,
doesn't get more money, but he gets more paychecks.
I mean, right
Gets more
now, I
ass.
think by the end of the year, he may be also getting more money.
That is a world
Even if on
I
average
choose to believe in.
even if on average, he's not getting paid as much, like, just by sheer volume, he'll just keep working more dates, uh, and he will beat Kyle Fletcher. Uh, a perfectly fine wrestler, but not as insane as Arez, uh, not as reckless, not as good of a technical base if we're being fully honest with ourselves. I mean, come on. Uh, like, I'm glad he's got this AEW deal so people can catch up with the real freaks and realize that RS is one of the like best, most well-rounded wrestlers in the world. But you should have been on the shit like 5 years ago, and it's shameful that it took uh Tony Khan booking this guy every Saturday night for you to realize it.
What percentage of AEW fans do you think realize that El Clone and Erez are the same person? Like, it's lower than 30%, right?
Yeah, probably
I think
10%. All of them are my mutuals on Twitter.
Sure.
I think it's also just there are a lot of people who don't care that
That's yeah.
Arez is El Clone. Like, what El Clone does on Collision matters. What Arez does on a GCW show doesn't matter.
And I couldn't feel further from the opposite. Like,
Yeah. No, I'm speaking with the voice of, you know, the average dipshit.
yeah, completely.
So as we're talking, I'm watching Tremont versus Napier. I gotta say,
Match of the
pretty
year?
good.
Oh,
No, match of the year is the second Sadako versus Reina Oscura match, the one with the exploding table out of nowhere.
Wait, how many have they had?
2.
just 2,
Okay.
yeah.
Just 2.
The first
Okay.
one that Chris just watched ended via countout when Sadako was handcuffed to the ring
Okay.
and could not get back in. The second one was billed as Lucha Extrema and thus ended in double countout, despite them spending 75% of the match at ringside.
That match was immense. I didn't realize that they had another one earlier this year. I'll have to go out of my way to find that one because the second one was fucking delightful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I will.
Anyway, we derailed
double
you
count out. I
from
love lucha.
your January Lucha roundup, Chris. Sorry.
I mean, that's basically it. Even though Reina Obscura versus Sadika, uh, number one is the second best Reina Obscura versus Sadika match of the year. That is, of these matches I watched, that is far and away the best. As much as I enjoyed watching Mistico and Soberano Jr. and Barbara Barbaro Cavanario and all these guys who, like, every year they're just like, oh yeah, these are some of the best workers who have great matches every week in uh one of the hottest promotions. They're still not fucking touching Sadika, baby. Like, she's like, it's fucking real. Like, as much as I love Barbaro Cavanario, he will never make me believe it's real on the same level as Sadika.
And we believe it's real because Sadika thinks it's real.
Thank God.
Orchid, what have you watched last week?
And most
sorry.
CMLL wrestlers, other than Soberano Jr., do not have as fat of an ass as Sadika. Soberano Jr. does have a fatter ass.
Oh my god.
Soberano Jr., when he gets that BBL, it's just fucking over.
When he signs with WWE?
Yeah, when he
Soberano
signs with
versus Alley Catch?
WWE and then gets the Cardi B ass.
I just briefly confused Soberano Jr. and Atlantis Jr. and imagining that thick boy with a BBL was quite fun. Not gonna lie.
All right, Orchid, did you watch any wrestling this last week? First official week as a host?
Oh, sure. Boy, did I. Yeah, I mostly avoided AEW, which felt great. Couldn't help myself from watching the main event. I thought it was fucking awful. I listened to a little bit of Q&T this afternoon,
They
where
didn't hate it.
they didn't hate it, and they said on second watch through, they didn't dislike it as much during their first watch through.
That's
I
fucking
watched
nuts,
it.
right? 45 minutes. It happened on the 15th, and they're like, let's run it back and watch it again.
Yeah, I ended up watching it 3 times because I
Shit.
reviewed.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
It's okay. I
the
reviewed it.
thing is, with Tim, you're fucking with a different boy. With Orchid, I don't know. I can't think of an excuse for 3.
I only did 3 because I was
Only
reviewing
3.
it. I only watched it a third time because I was in the middle of writing a review of it.
It was just for your new podcast, Late Night with the main event of AEW Revolution 2026.
Fuck, I can't imagine. Yeah, the first watch through wasn't as bad because I didn't watch the entire 5.5 hour long show. I did the math on it. You could watch one battle after another twice during the entirety of Revolution. But yeah, not a fan in the slightest. I did review it on my Substack. I won't rehash any of that there. But what I will say, per Pat's request, I did watch Drew Parker and Emerson Jane versus John Wayne Murdoch and Reed Bentley from GCW. Hit 'em up. It like I shudder saying that. Which light years better in every way, shape, and fashion. I now finally understand, Pat, exactly why you've been recommending Emerson Jane for the last 3 weeks to me.
All it took was seeing her with 3 darts in her mouth.
3 fucking darts. Someone on my Substack commented that because my complaint with MJF and Hangman was that it leaned so heavily into maximalism that it rendered itself completely meaningless. Um, and someone took that to think that I thought they were going too far. I could not stress. I didn't think that match went far at all. And Tim and Quentin definitely touched on that in Q&TR. But I think when I'm thinking about like a hypodermic needle spot that happens in compare that to watching a woman take 3 darts into 3 different parts of her mouth. I just really wonder who the sickos are in this scenario. Just really genuinely just impressed by it, and I think there was inherently significantly more logic, and more match structure in, the Drew Parker and Emerson Jane, John Wayne Murdoch, Reed Bentley match. That's that. The other match that I watched that really kind of wanted to honor some of the other things that we have been discussing on this podcast was Tim Bosby and Nick Nemeth from Memphis Wrestling. Let me get the number right. I just want to make sure I get the number right. Number 264
I watched that
from
too.
three. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I thought it was fun. I want to watch the
It's
rematch.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Me too. I,
I
I
was
think
it was disappointing because it was very much Tim Bosby wrestling a Nick Nemeth match.
yeah. It, and I got a big kick out of the fact that the match was billed as Tim Bosby wrestling his childhood hero Nick Nemeth, which is sort of not really a selling point for me. I don't know about you, Dan, but I would assume no. Um, and yeah, definitely a lot of WWE isms throughout the match. There's a lot though that Tim does that keeps me remaining high on him, including his hairline. His hairline is quite exceptional. Very standard fair match. You could tell obviously that they're building towards a rematch. I'm definitely more interested in the rematch than I would be this one. The thing I enjoyed the most about this match, though, were the fact that there were commercial breaks. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I would say I'm looking forward to the rematch and Vince Russo getting involved in Memphis Wrestling.
Yeah, one of the commercials asked the question, will Vince Russo invest in Memphis
Yeah.
Wrestling? And I don't know if I've ever been more sold on an ad in my entire life. I'm more sold on that than I am Pesty somehow. Um, but yeah, that sounds like a really fascinating thing to do. Especially like I watched it on YouTube, which I pay for premium, and I love the idea of just embedding your ads into the video you upload. What a great little scheme there, and especially running an ad for your own promotion.
Yeah,
Um,
the only thing I could think is but I think it actually airs on, like, some cable channel in Tennessee too, so or I mean, not cable, some over-the-air channel in Tennessee. So maybe that's why, but I thought that was
uh,
funny too, where I'm like, There's a lot of ads in this."
yeah, I definitely got a kick out of it, and the majority I noticed at least 2 of the ads that I did skip over. My apologies, to the fine folks in Memphis Wrestling, but I did get a kick out of 2 of them were related to Memphis Wrestling. That tickled me completely. It reminded me very much of like the early days of I can't remember the name of the promotion, but that there was one promotion out of Jersey shortly after ECW died where like their weekly show was basically just an infomercial. Not to say that ECW wasn't very similar, especially like early hardcore TV. But yeah, I enjoyed that match. Definitely pledged to continue to keep my eye on Tim Bosby. Enjoy him quite a bit. And then the other thing that I spent a lot of time with this week was the New Japan Cup. I'm basically all caught up on that. Um, what to say about that? Lots. I think that the thing that really just strikes me as interesting is that you can tell there's still a dearth of talent in New Japan, even if like the arrow is trending up in a lot of different directions. Everyone in the main event feels as if it misses its climax and ends up going like 2 or 3 minutes over. Not atypical of New Japan, obviously, but it's just a lot more showing when it's like somebody like Callum Newman in a match. That being said, still a lot of things that I'd remain high on. Oleg, Yuya, and Zach have been really turning in some pretty solid work throughout the entire tournament. In terms of standout matches, from what I've seen so far, Oleg and Hanare was solid. I wouldn't say go out of your way to watch it or anything, but it does, at least to me, point that Oleg Bolton can potentially be somebody who could slot into a main event. I wouldn't say for like a long period of time, but I could see him going for the world championship getting a 25-minute match that is good, maybe better than good.
Yeah, I see Oleg Boltin, and I see a very solid never open weight run
Mm.
with occasional dabbling in, like, New Japan's, like, some different guys are hurt, whatever circumstance. Uh, we've got we've got Oleg Boltin challenging for the title on a B show during the year and has a pretty good match.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I think that, like, I take that, like, I like Oleg Boltin a lot. Um and I think you use him in that role and he thrives. So, like, if they use him to that role and he thrives, I will greatly enjoy it. He will be in every G1 for the next 10 years, and hopefully that pays off.
I see no reason why he can't be the heir apparent to Ishii.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty great fucking ceiling. He could go higher. There's always a possibility. I think like I think like how I've shifted from him when I first saw him to like where it is today is just I never would have expected that I would have gotten so far behind the guy, but he's easily a solid part of the shows. I absolutely am happy to go out of my way to watch that man. And fuck, I don't know how you fit so much man into such a tiny pair of panties. It just gets me worked up in many different ways. Um, Yuya, before I get to Yuya, there's a lot of hype around the Zack and Roe Uiwa match. I'm lower on Roye than a lot of folks are. That being said, absolutely a fantastic match. One I would probably recommend going out of your way to see. It very much just visually reminded me of some old Japan stuff. Just seeing somebody that big, and that like imposing, especially in a New Japan ring, just harkens back to some of the early Puro that really got me hyped on it to begin with in the first place. Classic Sensei versus Senpai match in that. Very consistent. Let me rephrase that. Relatively consistent selling of limb work. Lots of good limb work in it. Easily the best Uiwa match I've seen, in my opinion. Like for me specifically, I know that some folks are higher on more of his work in other areas. I think he had a Takeshita match that folks are really into. Um, I don't know if I've been on record on this podcast. I am not a big fan of Takeshita at all. Mostly, I'm going to skip this person at this point. Kind of wrestled for me at this particular moment. But yeah, in terms of what I've seen from Rua, I quite adored it, and I think this is the first time where like I kind of saw some of the hype that a lot of other folks do see in him. I think he has to be a little bit more consistent, but still, really telling that he was able to put on such a great match with Zach, who I think is really positioning himself to be the gatekeeper in New Japan, even if he doesn't get like an extended run with the title ever again, and maybe he will. He's just positioning himself to just really stand out and sort of be the last hurdle that some of these young guys have to get over, to really make their name. I think some folks were high on the Shota Umino match. I just finished it. I wouldn't say it blew me away in any which way, shape, or form, but it does at least show you what Zach is able to get out of. I don't even know if I feel comfortable calling Shota young at this point, but somebody who's on the rise. But I think hands down for me so far, I remain again a firm believer in Yuya. That hasn't changed. Not really a particularly interesting slate of matches for him this week, with going up against Drill Maloney, which fine. But the match is still raised a bit from Yuya. Um, I do think the match with Shingo was also another one where I'd potentially recommend going out of your way to watch. I feel like that to me was the best poor man's Tanahashi match I've seen him do. Obviously, there's a lot of parallels there, but just the ways that he's sort of able to work the crowd, get them to bite on a lot of near falls. He does hit a high fly flow at one point that really felt like the crescendo of the match. It ended up going a little bit longer than that, and it ends up ending with like a pretty dope headbutt spot. It's not as like vicious as you'd hope, but still pretty sick, just generally speaking. I was kind of a big fan of how that sort of wrapped up. And then outside of that, not really a ton. I did watch one match from the Stardom show over the week, and immediately after All In, just to kind of like cleanse my palate a little bit from that match. It was the Sari and Iwa tag match. I'm trying to see. Can't remember off the top of my head who it was against. Oh yeah, Suzu Suzuki and Akira Kunogane. Solid match. I wouldn't say anything like blew me away. Definitely felt like a good like kind of like wash the taste out of my mouth from watching the end of Revolution. I'm sure you'll know I will be seated for Sorryism on Sunday. That's probably the thing that I've been most looking forward to for the last couple of weeks. And yeah, really looking forward to that. And I hope that will allow me to kind of dive deeper into some of the Joshi watching that I want to do. A big challenge for me has been that Marvelous hasn't uploaded anything to Wrestle Universe lately. So I'm probably going to have to like go out of my way to try to find some links to some of those other shows that they've ran over the year. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Did you see that Sari is gonna be in Vegas?
She's gonna be in Vegas and Tokyo the same fucking day.
Same day. Yeah, that's nuts.
Same fucking day. Suck her dick, Hulk Hogan.
Uh, it's gonna suck for all those fans when that flight gets delayed, but have a good time in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, I know you could be really reliant on air travel to the United States these days. So yeah, I'm sure that's gonna work out swimmingly.
Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna start with. Let me double check here real fast. Well, the best match I watched is someone linked to a Nick Bockwinkel Junkyard Dog match. It's probably the best match I watched in the last 7 days, but I don't really have much to say about that except every single time I watch Bockwinkel, he just goes higher and higher in my greatest wrestler ever ballot, and Junkyard Dog's over like a motherfucker. But the best match I watched from recent history is Gangrel defending his Coastal Championship Wrestling title against Trevor fucking Lee from March 6th, CCW Bash at the Brew 62. Um, it fucking rocked. It's 11 minutes long. It's building to a rematch, and I'm hyped. And Gangrel might be even higher in my 2026 VPs if he gets to keep this belt and keep defending it. Um, I like them bringing Trevor Lee in. That whole show, if you don't mind, some canceled guys was pretty good. You get Stallion Rogers is on it, Char Char Charlie, Matt Riddle, just all the stars, all the Florida stars, Sam Holloway. But Gangrel versus Trevor Lee is by far the best thing on it. My boys, Sinner and Saint, got me to watch TNA. They had a match with the Hardys. It was really depressing because it went 5 minutes long, and they looked awesome, and the Hardys win with a weird Jeff Hardy submission move.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how long he's been doing it as a finisher. I gotta admit that I haven't been watching a lot of the Hardys in the last, half decade or whatever. But that was good to see those guys, but I just can't commit to watching TNA. Amira had a really fun match against Livia on a Wrestling Open, and I'm mostly excited by that because I think maybe it'd be cool if she started getting booked on, the Eastern Coast, the Midwest, anywhere outside of, the usual places she's in with, California, Oregon, Canada. But she also had a match with Gabby Forza back in January. I haven't watched that yet. I'm not a big Gabby Forza fan, so I just never got around to it, but this was really fun. And I watched, the Bosby Nemeth match. And then I also only watched one match from the AEW pay-per-view, but mine was the 20-man Blackjack Battle Royal.
Oh,
What?
buddy.
Well, here's why. I sat down and I was like, I'm gonna fucking watch some AEW, and this battle royal was so fucking long and so bad that I was like, I'm not watching AEW, and turned it off. A
I
lot
love
of
that you were committed to weekly trying to dip your toe into AEW.
they
Like,
fucked me
and
so
as soon
quickly.
as the nail gets in, you're out. It's incredible.
They fucked me so well. I tried. I was watching AEW. I was having a good time, and this battle royal was terrible. And then I hate basically all the results from the show. That's not really true. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in AEW that I can't hang my hat on. I'm sure at some point I will go back and watch, I don't know, Thekla versus Chris Statlander. I don't know what AEW is turning me into, like a women's wrestling fan, because all the fucking men are doing bullshit. I'll watch the trios title match eventually, and I'll watch anything, you know, Andrade does. But that's
You gonna watch
really
Sky Blue on Collision? You got Sky Blue on Collision.
I don't listen,
Second, that gonna be our big top next week.
you fucking perverts in Sky Blue really weird me out. It's all about I people talk about Sky Blue a lot, but then all they're talking about is their butt and their blood. So like I'm staying out of it for right now.
God, call yourself a feminist. I guess you don't.
I actively do not. That's my whole gimmick, man.
Fair.
But that's all the wrestling I've watched. Not a whole lot worth talking about. Um, since our last week, we've had a new Q and TR. They went over the AEW pay per view in much more detail than we did here. They covered more than just the first and the last match. And Orchid, you guessed it on Late Night with the 2012 Royal Rumble. How was that?
Great. I don't think we spent a whole lot of time talking about the 2012 Royal Rumble. But I hate admitting this on air, but I have long thought since the first moment I heard his voice that that Pork might be the most charming fucking man I've ever met in my entire life, and having an
I
hour to chat with him.
like I as someone who has also guested on that program, uh like you talk as much about the Royal Rumble as you can. And
Yeah.
usually it's an excuse to talk about the people in the Royal Rumble's other matches in their careers and have a fun time. But yeah, it's a delight. It's a delight to talk to Pork.
Listen,
He really
I
is.
love Pork.
Delightful guy.
we all love
Me
Pork.
too.
He's delightful.
We
He's
do.
charming. I will cut every second this out of this episode. So we should move on. No, there was a lot more shit, what's his name? Justin Black? No, is that his name? PJ Black? Justin Gabriel. A lot more
Justin
Justin
Gabriel.
Gabriel talk than you would imagine on a on a podcast. Especially from two men who seemed wholly unfamiliar with him. It was you being like, I've never
Entirely.
seen this man, I don't know this man, and then Pork clearly just getting on Cage Match and being like, he's been in Ring of Honor before and talking about 2024 Ring of Honor. And I'm like, guys, you don't know PJ Black, it's fine.
The Darewolf.
See, Chris knows PJ Black. He can talk about Justin Gabriel a little bit.
I cannot. I did do the count. I think I had only seen less than half the people in that in that match that I'd seen before, including the Great Khali,
Oh
which
my god.
I take a lot of pride in.
I like that you got to the bottom of like this podcast is great because Pork. We're just spoiling all. You don't have to listen to it. Just let us talk about it. But it's like, no, I don't even like Royal Rumbles. Even when they're
Yeah.
good. Don't even like good Royal Rumbles. Like, what are we doing?
Oh, that Pork.
I
That
also
Pork. Love that Pork.
this is like
Love that Pork.
this is like Orchid Week on the site. You're officially fourth chair. You're on Late Night with the 2012 Royal Rumble, and tomorrow you're gonna have a post going up.
Spring break, baby. This is how I spent my spring break.
No,
Violentorchid.co.
yeah, you are carrying us. And I appreciate you so much for carrying us because you're also helping out greatly with the VP 100 rollout that will be starting in days.
This is
Can't wait.
huge.
Can't wait.
In a matter of days, like 2 days, you will start to know wrestlers and their numbers.
This is a show steeped in irony, and I'm not joking. I get so fucking excited.
For VP 100.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, me too.
it's so fun. It's like I want to ask Chris for spoilers. Like I'm like you have to tell me, but I don't. I don't.
Yeah, I haven't shared the sheet with anyone except Orchid this year.
And I've done a pretty good job not like spoiling it for myself. I will admit I ran immediately to just see who number 1 was and the top 10. But outside of that, I've mostly just been working on the graphics for the honorable mentions and kind of dreading putting together the ones for the top 100 because I really don't want it spoiled for me. Especially now that I'm going to be on the pod, like it makes it even more exciting.
So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
good shit. I'm thrilled to have you on board. Uh, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun the next couple weeks.
Can be great.
it's a
Uh,
good time to be a violent person.
excited to yell at each other.
I'm so mad already, and I'm mad and interested. And like any talk about it gets me excited. You're like, oh, you're the high voter on freelance, and I'm like, I go to my list, and I'm like, Chris had him higher than 83, confirmed. I gotta be honest, that feels low, but that's where I had him.
I mean, the year I'm not the high voter on freelance, I will be disappointed in myself.
I think you say you'll be dead.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking
may
too.
be dead, or just John or Nick, uh, just like slightly edges me out, which has happened on a few occasions with some people I was really banking on. Uh, I did get slightly outbid on a couple wrestlers this year, which we're listening, we're learning, and next year we're really going to figure it out.
Yeah, there's a couple people that I'm like, if I'm not the high voter, it will cause me actual harm. And like that's fun. Like people see me kind of
Yeah.
in a bad mood, and they'll go, I bet it's because a wrestler he wasn't the high voter on a wrestler on some weird list he's
There
involved in.
there are a few people on my list where I juiced up their spot just as like a Dan Rice style bet to see if I'd end up the high voter.
Well, I've already said in the pod that someone posted a list with Defunto at 13, and I had him at 14, so I bumped him up to 12.
Yeah, see, I just, purely in a vacuum, I think I put Rhea Ripley at like number 30 something just because I'm like, I wonder if I'll be the high voter on Rhea Ripley by putting her in the 30s. There might be someone out there who's like, no, she's a top 25 wrestler, but I'm betting against that.
I'm hoping against it.
This is going to be a really wacky thing to say after what Pat just said, but I don't actually basically after everything we've all said here is that I have to remind myself frequently that like this is not the most prestigious wrestling list being
Wrong.
released. In my opinion,
All right,
I
so we
hold
need a
it
new
in
graphics
such.
person for this
Yeah,
list,
we
is
need a
what I'm
new
hearing.
fourth.
Man, you did
I
not last
wasn't
long.
finished speaking. I hold it in in such high fucking regard myself. I just think that it to me, like I take so much pride in voting in this thing because you really have to be fucking demented to be able to like cover your bases so that you can like confidently say like these to me are the 100 best wrestlers in the world, and I didn't just name 50 people you could see on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Although
Well,
I guess some people do that.
well, part of the charm, I would like a few more voters. Obviously, every year I'd like more
Yeah.
voters. But like the charm of not having like 1,000 voters is that everyone's ballot does make a difference.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not seeing it like Chris, but I know that everyone's ballot moves stuff.
yeah. The like the night before balloting, like ballots closed. I only got 2 more ballots, but like the top half of the list, like barely changed. Though there was like it did actually cement someone in the top 10, but
Mhm.
uh like the 110 to 90, there were some drastic changes, and there is one person who, if they had like one more 95 vote, would have made it. There is a tiebreaker between 101 and 100 that literally anything involving those two wrestlers uh, could have changed that. Uh, like I know there's going to be people that like grown at whatever AEW popular wrestler makes it. Um, and that's fine, but like it's I do think this is a very fun list overall, and I'm excited to unveil it over the next like 3 weeks.
Oh, this is going back. I don't know how I didn't mention this. I wanted to make sure I said Leo Rush should be embarrassed.
No,
Why?
no, Leo Rush should be
Leo-
proud. This is why we
No.
give Leo Rush a TV deal.
No, it's I understand that, like, when he shows up to fucking West Coast Pro or whatever, you gotta let him do his weird black heart shit. But Tony can't pull him aside and be like, "Could you just not run around like an animal?"
No,
Why would you want that to stop?
I hated it.
this is like
I think what it is he has to make a choice. It's either 2 legs or 4 legs. He can't switch between them.
oh, you want him to just be tagging with like Action Andretti on Ring of Honor instead of being the Blackheart? Fuck you.
I'm not a black heart guy. Every
I
time he's
love
black
the
heart,
Blackheart. I have
it, it it's so cringy to me, and it's just like, this is a grown man. He's 30 years old.
no, he's a beast. I love him so much.
This is the farthest apart we've ever been. Yeah. All right. Well, he's wrestling Ciampa. I wonder if he'll be the black heart for that.
Oh, he better be. I'll be so. If he's not, I will flop to your side.
Yeah, it
next
will
week.
be the most disappointing slam dunk Sunday of my life if he is not the Blackheart for that.
So who do we think would do the best job of going, 4-legged run for 4-legged run with him? Like, he does the 4-legged run at someone and they'd say like, "Oh yeah, well fuck you, I'm gonna do it right back." Who would do the best
See, I was
job?
picturing like a race, but I guess it's a similar question.
That could work too.
Yeah.
I think Gabe Kidd, if he really got
Oh.
convinced, because like Gabe Kidd is such a freak. I haven't watched a lot of the AEW from this year. I'm excited to watch more of Gabe Kidd and especially Clark Connor's stuff with Darby, because those are guys who can match his freak. But like Gabe Kidd being like, "No, I can be a fucking animal. I can be a better fucking animal than you can." And
See,
like,
we went almost to the same spot because I was thinking Pac or Pac or however you say it.
yeah, but I do think that, but he is such a deliberate wrestler that I don't think it would work the same. Whereas like a Gabe Kidd, like love him or hate him, he is just going to go balls out doing whatever comes to his mind at that given moment. I think that he's the answer. Whereas Pac would like have the thought, but he would like take a step back and think about it for a minute, and that's the difference.
See, my thought was there's like a solid chance that maybe Ace Austin's a furry or something.
Oh, I
I
see.
think there's more than a chance.
Yeah.
I think you're giving him more credit. I wish he was gayer, but
Yeah, Ace Austin, if he was gayer, he could be truly great, but he's not.
That's what they say about us all.
He's so straight. That's what
I will
you
say that.
That's what you say, Dan.
I will say this is the you saying this about Blackheart Leo Rush is the first time I've ever assumed any of the men on this podcast are heterosexual.
You said
Well, we do talk about wrestling all the time. What's straighter than that?
The way I always pitch this to my wife is that I have not heard a single one of you objectify a woman yet, but the minute anyone of our Discord members ask you to objectify a man, none of you can fucking stop from tripping over your feet to talk about how sexy a guy is.
No,
It kills me.
I am like I've
Listen,
talked about
listen. Whom amongst us does not want to fuck the hole on that Tremont's head?
fair. Like I mentioned I'm thrilled to have Orchid to help me with the VP 100 and shit like that. I am even more thrilled to have her on and make this podcast even gayer.
Fuck
Like,
yeah, that's what I'm here for.
I think we've
Cause,
been explicitly asked to rank women's looks before, and we said no. But let's talk about this dude real quick.
Oh yeah, that's one of my. That's what I almost crashed my car listening to that episode because you always so like, no, who are the hottest men? It was so fast. Oh, fucking crush me.
See, the
Oh,
thing
God.
is, as someone who was watching the wrestling when I was, at any given moment, I can recall with perfect clarity, like Vince McMahon making Trish Stratus bark like a dog. But it's a constant process of reflection and self-betterment that I choose to ignore those thoughts and
Right.
instead talk about whether or not Ace Austin is a furry or possibly a gay furry.
You're saying you had to work to think that?
I'm saying it's just a constant battle to not constantly bring up Trish Stratus with her pants off when I think of wrestling.
Oh shit!
And I think it's the same for a lot of people who watched, 2000, 2001 wrestling when they were 14, 15.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the Observer picture thread. Would
Some
probably agree
people
with you.
think of Stacy Keibler as George Clooney's ex. I forever think of her as Miss Hancock, sometimes spelled Miss Handcock with a D.
Speaking of objectifying men, but I guess women can be in the Hall of Fame too. But we only have one. Big Top's Hall of Fame.
Well,
people.
that's we've nominated women.
Yeah, it's these fucking shitty listeners. You're right. They hate women and they hate Mexicans. That's been proven. I'm gonna go ahead and start this off by listing who's in our Hall of Fame. If somehow you know now.
First we should introduce the concept, which is that this is a Hall of Fame episode.
They get it. Or they don't. This is a Hall of Fame episode. We're all gonna rank 5 people or nominate 5 people each. You guys will get the vote on it. Anyone with over 60% of the vote gets in. If you don't get in, you are ineligible for the following nomination class. Pretty simple. We currently have a class, a Hall of Fame of 20 people. Aja Kong, Antonio Inoki, Onita, Dean, Eddie Kingston, Tenru, Jay Briscoe, Jun Kasai, Loki, Necro Butcher, Sabu, Samoa Joe, Terry Funk, Vader, Takayama, Yuki Ishikawa, and John Cena. I'm happy with most of those.
Yeah, I'm not happy about the Yuki Ishikawa either.
Get the fuck out of here. People that are ineligible because they did not get into our last class. Abdullah the Butcher, Antonio Pena, Black Terry, Buzz Sawyer, Chris Benoit, Chris Hero, Dave Meltzer, Giant Baba, Gram Zaza, Jeff Cannonball, Kana, Ken Shamrock, Kevin Sullivan, Nick Gage, Rob Black, Roosh, Super Porky, and Vampiro.
Rob Black. Okay.
That was, I believe that was his first pick. That was Pat's first pick.
A lot of shameful omissions. on the voters' behalf.
The one that I'm most disappointed in people not going. Actually, there are two: Super Porky and Antonio Pena. It really exposed the people who listen to the show as knowing less balls than fucking none.
Dave is yeah, it's Super Porky, Antonio Pena, and Dave for me.
The one that hurts
Like,
me is that I believe this episode happened very soon after Black Terry died. So it's like if he didn't get in then,
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked. The Black Terry is the one that bothers me. Yeah.
like he will not get in. Like I'm sorry. Like unless our audience completely changes, the man fucking died.
the man fucking died as much of a beast as he ever was. And I tried to do a little bit of hiding under. Yeah, I'm most mad about Dave, like because Dave is the biggest beast in wrestling that has ever been a beast.
I've seen those
But
arms.
actually, you're all like, the man died. The man died like a week after working in IWRG and shit. Like,
And he was
fuck
getting
you.
ready to fly to fucking Japan to wrestle. Fucking
I'm really excited for the eventual think piece we do, calling Dave Meltzer the Black Terry of wrestling journalism.
So I'll start this by randomizing our names. It is, oh my god, even when I do it, Pat, Orchid,
What's up?
Chris, and me. Sorry, I was listing them, but I was last time too, and it seems unfair. All right.
I want to go last. You want to switch? I don't mind trading.
Oh shit. Yeah, we can trade.
Cool.
Pat.
Let's do it.
So then it goes Pat, Dan, Chris, Orchid. All right. So Pat, get us started.
All right, so it's funny that you bring up Black Terry because a lot of times with this Hall of Fame type voting, people get the death bump, they get the retirement bump. It's like how Viano Tercera finally made it into the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame because he died. So this is someone whose career was tragically cut short. Might have gone on to bigger and better things. We'll never know, but we do know the mark that they made on the industry and in our hearts. Of course, my first nominee for this class is Brinley Reese.
Fuck.
I guess you scooped everybody, but all right.
Fuck, I've got to change my entire strategy.
I got to be
Oh,
honest.
it's getting
I don't know
worse,
how
right?
I was gonna nominate Brinley Reese 5 times, but that was my list, so I'll have to change some shit.
Well, there's Brinley Reese, there's Brianna Ruggiero, there's the gym that she is a trainer at now, there's her husband, and then there's you nominate some Brinley Reese match.
Okay, all right. Oh shit! Eventually, we got to get into nominating violent people matches. I like that. Now it's for me. I'm gonna go ahead and nominate Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, beautiful. That is a guy who is on my short list.
Just a violent person, Hall of Famer in every way, in my opinion.
One of the greatest carnies of all time. Like, I've already said this word so many times in a short amount of time, but a beast. Just like by any,
He's a beast.
yeah, like as a
He's
booker,
Mr.
as a
Beast if you're
wrestler,
nasty.
he's so fucking sick. He understands this business in a way that so many people could never even fathom to understand. And I love him with all of my heart. And like Jeff Jarrett is one of the true litmus tests of if I trust you and your taste. Like, if you hate Jeff Jarrett, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna rock with your taste. Like, we might agree on some things, but like if we disagree on Jeff Jarrett, like we're probably not we're not on that same level. But like if we can talk Jeff Jarrett, if we can talk Double J, like we will get along swimmingly. And I think somehow this is his first nomination, and I fully support him being this high.
Yeah,
I do think it's interesting how the tide has turned on Jarrett. over the last 20 years.
There was definitely a time
Because
in TNA when he was very hated online.
I remember, back then when it was like Jeff Jarrett was treated the way people treat MJF now. And it makes me think when I'm 60, people are going to be going back and say, MJF was fucking beast in the 2020s, dude.
Well, I think at the time, Jeff Jarrett was like the other side of the coin of Triple H. Like people kind of compared them, and it's like the difference is that Jeff Jarrett's a good wrestler. That's like a big difference in it.
Yeah,
Not wrong.
like Jeff Jarrett, yeah, you compare him like now to MJF or in the past to like to a Triple H,
I
and it's
I
just
think
like it's like, oh yeah, he's like he's so like all about himself and he books himself and he's a super politician and it's just like, yeah, but like who's punching like Jeff Jarrett?
I do think it's interesting, and it might bear more thought on my part off the podcast to roll this one over. But the idea that in the moment he was hated so much because people could not separate the idea of, oh, Jeff Jarrett's booking himself, he's booking every angle to maintain his own heat, all the storylines feed back to Planet Jarrett, and then now because it's not in that same moment, we're looking back at it historically, and it just comes down to like, well, were the matches any good? People kind of lose that feeling. People don't complain about the Reign of Terror so much anymore. They just complain about, oh, Triple H was a bad wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, yeah, Triple H should have put over Scott Steiner, and Jarrett probably should have put over Raven way earlier, but I know which one I'd rather watch again.
Yeah.
Chris, you got your first nominee?
I mean, while we're in Memphis and talking about good punches, I will go for someone who is a bit more canceled, but goddamn, I don't know if we've nominated him before.
I
And
don't think
Dan's
so.
already written it in. It's Jerry Lawler. It's the fucking king. Maybe the best punches in history. Uh, the greatest pile driver in history. He is like a man who in his 60s and 70s is outworking guys a third of his age. It's fucking Jerry Lawler. It's the goddamn king. He's
Do you remember when people on our Discord convinced themselves that Jerry Lawler was going to be the secret opponent at the Death Valley Days show?
oh god, that would have been beautiful.
But like until they revealed it was Carl Malenko, people were being like, "Wow, I bet the Segunda Caída guy's got Jerry Lawler to wrestle."
Jerry Lawler, who like is just now doing signings again, I think.
Though this actually, Chris, through no fault of yours and every fault of Jerry's, I do have to change my short list now because I actually did have on my short list the little girl that Kenny Omega wrestled,
Yeah, let's keep them away from each
and
other.
I'm not comfortable putting her into the same space as the King.
Fully understandable.
Jerry Lawler, great wrestler, better person.
Kind of exemplifies our
I do
slogan.
want to state my case. The little girl that Kenny Omega wrestled managed to break the internet's brain more than just about any other wrestler.
Well, I tried to argue that for Dave Meltzer and it didn't work.
Yeah, so
All right. Or could you get to go back to back?
Oh, interesting.
Drake
I'm
style.
I just imagine Dave Metzler as a little girl, and it's really hilarious to me. Oh, all right. Well, yeah. Okay, I got to go back to back. I'm very excited by that. I got to do this for this, taking that into consideration. My first nominee is somebody who plays pretty high on the VP 2010s, and hands down my favorite. Like I am feeling like absolute shit, and I need to put a wrestling match on to feel better. Katsuyori Shibata. I know full well that a lot of folks rank Tanahashi higher, but when I think about like the spirit of what this website is, and I think about what speaks to me personally as a wrestling fan, there's nobody else that I can think of nominating.
Yeah,
besides.
Tanahashi is more beloved, but Tanahashi never had his brain removed and put back in.
Yep. To our knowledge, at least. If I did find that out, I would not be shocked. But at least there is no popular lore around it in the same way. And then my second nominee is going to be everybody's favorite white boy, Jack Evans.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Wait, Jack Evans is white?
In a way.
You
I
wouldn't
thought you-
you wouldn't know it.
I thought you were shocked
I
that you
can't-
weren't everyone's favorite white boy.
His
No. As my Twitter display name says, I am the coldest white boy at
Oh.
the Joshi show.
Yeah, like I learned on the show recently that I cannot say the gimmick that Jack Evans worked for so long.
Oh my god.
Well, no, you can say Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, I love Malibu's Most. I've seen Malibu's Most Wanted so many times in my life. Great
Not
movie.
shocking in the slightest.
We
Yeah.
all know what you mean when you say Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about the hit film Boiler Room, which, if another aside for Chris talking movies, if you've never seen Boiler Room,
It's so fucking good.
I
Is that
assume
the Vin Diesel one?
Yeah.
yeah, Vin Diesel's in that. Scott Kahn is in it. Ben Affleck is in it. Jamie Kennedy is in it.
You haven't
It
named the
is
star.
It is one
Giovanni
of,
Ribisi.
yeah, Giovanni Ribisi is in it.
This was going to be his like launching pad, I think.
If you've never seen Boiling Point, it is one of the coolest movies ever. I love it so much. It is maybe the most 1999 movie of all time. And like, I need the youngins who listen to the show to watch Boiling Point or Boiler Room, because it is so sick.
You should watch.
You should
Boiling
also
Point,
watch
too.
Boiling Point. You should watch
Yeah, make it a nice double feature.
You should watch every Beat Takeshi movie ever as well, because Beat Takeshi is also one of the greatest to ever do it. If Beat Takeshi was in Boiler Room, it truly would be the best movie of all time. And while I'm on the clock, I'm just gonna say Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Hell yeah.
Another person
Love
I
that.
don't think has been nominated.
It's interesting that you nominated the King, and then by proxy you nominated JR.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and nominate. I got a lot of good choices here. I got a lot of choices. I'm going to go with Mark Briscoe. I just want him in there with his brother.
Now, if they're not to reference The Observer, but does that mean they're going to be in there as individuals and not as a tag team?
It means if we talk about that, I'll kill myself.
Okay, great. I like
If
that.
we get into
That's
minutia
great. Yep.
of why someone's
No,
in the
that's
Violent
good.
People Hall of Fame.
Yep, I love the spirit
Alright.
of that, and I think that speaks well to the spirit of the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Pat,
Yeah,
I'm
we-
terrified
Alright.
of what's next.
All right, no, well, so next was going to be the little girl who faced Kenny Omega. I don't actually know her name. She's just in my brain as little girl. But
I got to imagine she's
as
adult girl. at
as
this
we
point.
said, for reasons related to a certain scandal by a certain monarch, we're not nominating her. Instead, we're going to go with a more contemporary star who is of legal age,
Okay, I like it.
a star of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling,
Oh, I'm so
a
mad. already.
bilingual phenomenon. That's right. It's the casual beauty, Yuki Kamifuku.
Kamiyu.
No one in the industry has done a better Fameasser because no one else does it with legs that are longer than the entire rest of her body.
I'm glad that you brought her up too, because I didn't get a chance to chime in, but my answer to the question, who would be the best wrestler running around on all fours like a dog was going to be Yuki Kamifuku,
You know
just to
what?
make Dan uncomfortable.
No, you're not wrong. I don't want to watch it, but you're not wrong.
So I'm
I think
going
I am,
again.
but
I love Kamiyu so much. Dan really will live in infamy now, especially that Orchid's on the pod as the one naysayer on Kamiyu. But I haven't watched a ton of TJPW in the past like couple years, but I was all about that Kamiyu when I was watching like 3-4 years ago.
It's so awesome that when she debuted, her theme song was Old MacDonald.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it was like a techno mix of Old MacDonald Had a Farm.
Oh,
I got
that is logged on our cage match. Themes. Artist Toddler Tunes. Title Old MacDonald Had a Farm.
How'd they know they got the Toddler Tunes version?
I was just about to ask, like, is that true, guys? Can you guys confirm or deny that? There was Toddler Tunes?
Might as well have been.
Okay.
Am I going again? I can't remember.
Yeah, you gotta go back to that.
Okay. So this is actually I have to question whether or not this pick is valid in light of a previous pick, because Orchid picked Katsuyori Shibata. I have much more specifically Shibata's brain. Can we put both into the Hall of Fame independently of one another?
Personally, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say I think Shibata's brain, even though at times it has been separated from his body, I think one encompasses the other.
I was gonna agree. I would say I'd allow his brain surgeon.
Oh, well, that's Dr. Death Steve Williams. He did the surgery.
I didn't write down. I only wrote down 5 names.
I love that.
Well, 6 now because I had to cross up Little Girl. So I'm just gonna say, fucking Hardcore Holly.
Okay.
All right. Also, somebody I don't know if I want in a room with Jerry Lawler.
I've nominated her before, and the listeners hate her, but Megumi Kudo.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change Hardcore Holly. Cross Hardcore Holly out. We're gonna go with Soul Ruka.
Oh fuck yeah! All right.
The Hardcore Holly of modern NXT is what I always say.
The Hardcore Holly. No, Soul Ruka. I'm going with her because on Jim Fannon's podcast, American Kickboxer said that she was so good she wrestles like she's a man.
Beautiful. Did you ever get his book? Did his book come out?
I don't know, man. Like,
it seems like something stupid you would buy, respectfully.
It seems like something stupid you would buy. It also seems like even if you bought it, it would just be like a cheapo print on demand, printed on toilet paper that has like size 24 font on every page.
All right, Chris, who do you got for your third pick?
Dan went back to the well. And like you may be going, Chris is at the third round, hasn't nominated Luchador. I'm going back to the well of maybe the maddest I've ever been at someone not making the Hall, even beyond Black Terry not making it after he literally died. La Parka.
Yeah.
Like what what the fuck are we doing? Like how
you mean the current one, correct?
No, I mean, La Parka lives in many forms, so we can say this is original La Parka, now LA Park, and La Parka AAA and current La Parka. And
well, I read that
maybe all of those combined can finally get these fucking voters to get this gimmick in. The greatest to ever do it, LA Park, one of the sickest fucking like a guy who was one of the true great cruiserweight wrestlers in WCW at the peak of WCW, doing his shit.
I was blown away when they didn't vote him in.
Yeah, like who later transitioned into having these just disgusting, one of like the true great lucha brawlers, having these sick matches with Blue Demon and Roosh and Dr. Wagner. Like, how the fuck is he not in? We're trying it again, and I can't wait to get angry again if he doesn't make it. Like, he's
It
got to
really
be
is
here.
like you were talking about a litmus test earlier. This really, really is a litmus test of like, do you know ball? You know, do you know anything at all about wrestling? Should La Parca be in any Hall of Fame ever?
I don't watch it, so I can't confirm or deny, but I think I read that WWE AAA is treating the new La Parca as just all La Parca, like, just they
Yeah,
listed all of
yeah,
his
they
all
are
Yep.
on
accomplishments.
commentary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They called him a 5-time Rey de Reyes winner.
How old is the guy playing the new La Parca?
That's awesome.
Like 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 22, maybe.
All right, I love it. All right, or could you get 2 picks?
All right. I am going to nominate 2 women, one of which I'm not as familiar with as other folks on this podcast, but I know they'll be happy to have her nominated. A true hardcore legend, Mickey Knuckles. That's gonna be the first one.
Oh, man, if I was typing, I
And
was going with Sadika.
Dice,
I was very strongly considering Mickey for my next pick. So thank you.
yeah, right. Happy to do that. The the other person that I'm nominating in ways is shout out to Jade, but also another one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, especially in terms of input and output. I'm going Akira Hokuto. And I'm fully ready to have my heart broken when she doesn't get let in.
No,
Oh,
the
not a
Joshi
chance.
90s Joshi is the cheat code, dude.
I
Aja
don't know.
Kong
We'll
got
see.
in with like a 90% voting.
I don't
People liked Aja Kong more than Sabu.
No. Maybe, I don't see it. No, I mean,
I
I
think
think
there's
she
a
should
l-
be in. I don't think she'll get voted in.
I don't think she's getting voted in.
I think they're going to be like if the Joshi fans vote, they will like vote for Akira Hokuto only, and then ignore everyone else.
Are there a lot of Joshi only fans in that terrible phrasing on my part?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you
but
ever heard of this guy called Brad Cat?
no. But yeah, no, I'd be shocked if Hokuto gets in. And yeah, I'm ready
shit.
to get mad about it.
I got my next. I hope Chris doesn't scoop me, but I just got my next pick.
I'm curious now because I locked in on this, and it's not a luchador, but it is someone who wears a mask. And it is one of the most violent people to ever be in a ring. It is Super Dragon.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean Bandito's old gimmick?
Yeah. I have not watched the AEW show, but like as someone who is like hot and cold on Bandito, like him paying tribute to Super Dragon uh is the best thing he's ever done in his career, because Super Dragon is one of the best to ever do it. He is uh like your you talk about your LA Parks, your Mickey Knuckles, the people who make you think this shit is real. Super Dragon, who is hurting and curb stomping people for real, uh, with no regard for human life. I love him so much. He is like way up there as far as like prime indie workers, like way more in my book than like I would like when I do my GWE ballot, like he will be higher than a lot of kind of your classic indie boom names, because like at his peak, Super Dragon is just like Like, he's up there with a Necro Butcher, with a Samoa Joe of, like, great work, but also just, like, aura and chills and kicking the shit out of people, and I love Super Dragon so much.
He's like what when you look at someone like Octagon, he's like what you hope you're getting when you see Octagon.
For my pick, Orchid nominated Akira Hotta, the best women's wrestler of all time, and it made me realize that I should probably nominate the 5th best woman wrestler of all time. I'd say she's about .07 worse than Akira, Mildred Burke.
See, I had considered nominating the 82nd best woman wrestler of all time, Renee Paquette, but then I thought, no, if we put Renee Good on the ballot, it's just going to make a real mess of things.
My wife shares a birthday with Renee, and I think feels bonded to Renee because they share a birthday, and few
I feel
things
the same way
like
about Stephanie McMahon.
good. Thank you for stepping on my opportunity to compliment my wife by bringing up Stephanie McMahon.
Well, Stephanie McMahon's also a
Just
wife.
compliment them both, and let's go.
Yeah, sure, totally. Let's.
Your wife's birthday is the day before my sister's. I don't know if that does anything for anybody. August 19th.
I'll let my wife know.
Yeah, they can maybe like do like a dual birthday party. Cut down on costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
sign
why
is
not?
this? What sign is this? I don't know much about it.
This would be Virgo.
Okay, yeah, gang. 'Cause I'm
Are you a Virgo?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, this explains so much.
I
Oh my
know, I've
heart.
been told that
My
a lot.
little
I don't
heart.
know what
You're
that
such a
means, but I've
Virgo.
been told that a lot.
They're
God, my heart.
Chris, what's your birthday?
September 17th.
Okay.
Same birthday as Rasheed Wallace.
Okay.
And what hospital were you born in?
Yay! Again, gayest podcast in the world.
All right. Pat, can you name 2 more nominees, ideally whole humans rather than like organs?
All right.
I hate the pigeonhole.
That's a lot to ask.
So we're going to go with Lucha Libre. We're sticking with the Lucha Libre thing. I think I'm going to nominate perhaps the 2 wrestlers most influential, probably not to Lucha Libre discourse, but to the flavor of Lucha Libre discourse exemplified by Violent People, Chris's Lucha Roundup, etc. And the first of them is one who we have neglected for far too long. It's Sadika. Sadika is the patron. Sadika is Super Dragon with a BBL. Like that. If you've watched any Sadika match, you understand. If you haven't watched any Sadika match, then your life needs fixing in a lot of ways. The second person, we're going back a few years on this one. They have not really contributed to the discourse in a good few years, mostly due to death. But
That'll do it.
when they contributed, they really contributed. I have to go give it up for my main man, Angel O Demonio.
Oh, beautiful. Oh my God.
See, Chris, that's the real ball knower wrestler.
Okay, you're gonna type that in. There's no world where I spell that.
It's
okay. So it's the word angel.
It's the word angel, the letter O, and then demon with I-O after it.
Okay.
Very easy to
So
spell.
for those who don't know, there was a Puerto Rican wrestler named El Cuervo de Puerto Rico. And in a match, Angelo Demonio decided, I'm going to get some real heat on this guy by hitting him in the back of the head for real with a real cinder block.
See, what I do in my brain a lot is I make this guy the one that got hit with the cinder block, but he's the hitter.
That was Cuervo de Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And then Cuervo survived. I can't remember if he wrestled again.
Yeah, he is still kicking. You
awesome.
you may see him listed in a certain wrestler of the year ranking very soon.
I better. Angelo Demonio died of COVID.
It's also a Spanish supernatural drama television series, and I'm kinda into it just by the looks of it.
It was probably named after the wrestler.
I assume so. There's a lot of cinder blocks here.
But
Yes.
that's the famous Dr. Wagner versus Blue Demon Jr. The finish for that Triple Mania match where he bashes uh him with a what they say is a cinder block, but just looks like a big pile of gray Nickelodeon gack. That was a direct reference to this cinder block moment.
One of the sickest moments ever. I love Angelo Demonio. Rest in peace, King. Taken by COVID, along with one of my other great beasts, Ovet Senior. Another legend of like Zona 23 when like people were getting into it. Like before everyone knew Zona 23, when the real heads were talking about it, Angelo Demonio, Ovet Senior, they were crushing it, literally crushing people with cinder blocks in the junkyard.
Hmm. Now this is making me pivot because I wanna make sure that I
Because now
have
you want
someone.
another attempted murder?
Yeah, well,
Well, you can't vote. You can't
actual
vote Kevin Sullivan.
I don't think Kevin Sullivan or Chris Benoit are eligible, so I gotta go with New Jack.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did we try New Jack
I
previously?
believe
We have
I think
tried
New
New.
Jack was tried in the first class, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but now we're like now we're further away
But
from
the fucking
something.
racist voters.
Listen, New Jack both has the death bump and is a murderer. So there you go.
And he was in Beyond the Mat. He could have been Denzel's friend.
Man. Alright, Chris, you have one more nominee.
well, I can't go Dave. He's ineligible.
You have to wait till next time.
So what's the next best thing?
Oh, no.
Oh, Garrett, obviously.
I don't know. So I think I have to go with our special little boy.
Pork?
No, God no.
Oh. Oh, okay. I thought
As much as Pork is my special little boy, I have to go with the most specialist little boy of all, who loves drinking his apple juice so much, Brian Alvarez.
Unfucking believable. I thought you were going somewhere else for a really long time.
there was like
Yeah,
7
I thought
ways
you were going to say
coulda
Trevor
went.
Dame, to be honest. But Orchid, did you see that apparently Trevor Dame was on one of the fucking Voices of Wrestling shows to talk about like the downfall of the board?
I have been biting my tongue about that this entire hour and 48 minutes.
I would have steered the conversation off of a fucking cliff directly into that if I had had time to listen to it. So next week,
Big top.
people, be ready.
Big Top, please. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, I am so I'm I'm itching to get off this and listen to it. Yeah, it's on the in case you don't know, it's on the the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, I think is what it's called. I can't remember the name of the guy who's on it. Oh, Jesse something. That's not his last name. His
Jesse
last name's
Single.
Is Jake's brother.
That's it. It's not Jake's brother
Okay.
at all. If so, definitely no likelihood. No likeliness.
Oh shit, New Wrestling is gross dropped.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like right now or the one from last week?
No, on the 19th, today, 4 hours ago.
Oh, sick. Awesome.
They also got wrestlingisgross.com finally.
Fine. Oh, hell yeah.
I was trying to find this Gentleman's Wrestling podcast, and my podcast app was like, "No, listen to this," and it was right. That's what I want.
All right. With the last pick, I just need to express slight disgust because it is hilarious to me that he was the VP wrestler of the decade and only didn't win wrestler of the year for 2025. Although I guess there's still time because he retired. But it kills me that Danielson is not in this. Like I think it's fucking hilarious. I really wanted to go last so that I can rib y'all for that, and then make him no, delete that.
Oh.
That's not who I'm voting
Oh.
for. No, absolutely the fuck not.
Oh.
I'm not letting our lack of foresight about this get in the way of my bit. My last nominee is somebody who has brought all of us countless hours of joy. Possibly the only American man who loves Natsupoi more than me, Andrew Cesar.
Okay. Now, I want to say on the Danielson thing, one, it feels like pandering, and two, I think I can speak for the people involved in the site. Is a guy who has him probably as his GWE number one. He was last time. I'm just fucking tired of giving him his flowers on this site.
It's very okay. You know who does deserve our flowers?
Andrew
Because we don't
Cesar.
give them to him nearly enough.
Yeah, that's
Andrew
another guy never
Cesar.
gets shouted out.
The thing is,
And then
But
Pat's
he hasn't
like,
been immortalized
Pat's like,
in the same way.
we need to talk about Satica more. What English language podcast mentions Satica more than this? What are you talking about?
I do think that however much we mention Satica, we do need to mention Satica more.
Absolutely.
I'm fine with that. Fine with
I'm
that.
fine with you. I thought it was very funny. I was like, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're really ignoring her. She has
But
4
also,
matches a
Andrew
year.
Cesar, for those who have not looked at Cesar, like as of today, March 19th, whatever it is, he has been on one on Twitter. It is awesome.
He exposed
If
Trump.
if you go
Finally.
and look at it, I just beg of you, don't interact. Just leave a like and move on. Don't ruin this thing. Don't interfere. Like, observe the prime directive from Star Trek.
This man has almost 30
Don't
pages
ruin
of
it for the rest of
documents
us.
and almost 20 photographs. Okay? He's not fucking
Oh,
around.
fuck. 20?
Yeah.
He's almost 20.
20 photographs of Japanese Americans who were in internment camps, which is a weird number of photographs of that to have.
Yeah.
You didn't get the point after 2 or 3?
Oh my god.
Legends.
Oh, it's so good. Like, just when I think like maybe I'm a little over it, he has a day like today.
And previously, he's been, a pretty strong Trump guy. So this actually is an example of how, like, Trump is alienating his base
Shit, blue
with
wave.
the Iran war,
Yeah,
among other things. But
he started that
the
thread.
fact that with Cesar, it's that he made the weird joke about surprise attacks to the Japanese PM. That's what pushed him over the edge.
Enough is enough.
He starts that thread talking about like I made the
He's
grave
no, he
mistake
starts
of
the thread
voting.
adding stardom.
He's like, Stardom, I'm sorry I voted for this guy.
I just want to send my apologies to Rover. I got you next year, bro.
Oh man, I wonder how much Rovert's going to come up in that F4W podcast.
Not enough. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I will say it appears that we do the Hall of Fame about 35 to 40 episodes apart. I don't really know what decides when we do this. There's no date.
When we it's I think it's a 6 months or when we remember.
That's
whichever comes first.
That's beautiful. Because this one was Pat said Hall of Fame ? And then I last night was like, hey, maybe I should listen. I should listen to find out who's in our Hall of Fame.
Can I give you the full reasoning behind that?
Yeah.
I did not want to talk about AEW Revolution.
I gotta let you know, it doesn't seem like we were going to either way, but I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, but so I didn't want there to be a risk. I was like, let's be silly this episode.
I'll go ahead and recap this real fast. Orchid nominated Shibata, Jack Evans, Mickey Knuckles, Akira Hokuto, Andrew Cesar. Chris had Jerry Lawler, Dr. Death Steve Williams, L.A. Park, Super Dragon, Brian Alvarez. I have Jeff Jarrett, Mark Briscoe, Megumi Kudo, Mildred Burke, and New Jack. Pat has... I didn't read... Pat has Brinley Reese, Yuki Kimifuku, Soruka, Statica, Anho Domino.
No, you had it right.
Mercutio.
Angel
I'm
Odamino.
sorry. I can't say
Angel
it.
O. Mercutio.
That's like the name of someone from like Conor O'Malley's Irish Zionism.
I can't
skit.
say the names of I barely got Mildred Burke out, so I'm just trying my best out here. But yeah, that's our big top. There'll be a link in the show notes once I figure out how to make a little voting thing, and I'll put in the Discord.
Oh,
As we always
this is the
say,
most.
vote or die.
Sorry, I'm choking. That's the most cursed 5 names of all time.
It's
And you wanted to put Trevada's brain in there.
it's a lot. It's a lot to look at. You're like, I had to take a breath. Let's see, we've only been doing this an hour and 53 minutes, but it's time to get to some fucking questions. Hey man, question for the pod. Which wrestlers should they put in the opening for the new Malcolm in the Middle series instead of Chris Benoit and Bret Hart?
Billy Jack Haynes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry to do this, but you're missing a question from my wife.
Oh, that was like
She's
right
very excited by
after
it.
last
Mhm.
week, right? Can you ask it to
She
me?
was, yeah. She wants to know, um, what wrestler would you like to get to watch your favorite movie with you, and what is the movie?
We've only had 7 days to work on this. I had to have the wrestler and the movie, so I gotta figure out what my favorite movie is.
I would watch Jackass 3D with Jade Cargill.
She'd love that.
I think that for purposes of favorite movie, we can use anything in the Letterboxd top 4.
I'm gonna go with something that's not in my letterbox top 4. My favorite movie of all time. I named the Book of Poetry after National Treasure. And I would love to watch that with Shingo Takagi.
Would it be subbed or dubbed? Like, how would you be
Both.
overcoming the language? Okay.
Both. Yeah, both.
Which language? Like, would it be English language and Japanese subs, or would it be Japanese dub, English subs?
Both simultaneously, so we can both
Okay.
understand it at the same time. Yeah,
That's what WWE used to call the second screen experience.
you know it.
Going for the letterbox top 4, I will watch Bullet in the Head with God, anyone. I'll just watch Bullet in the Head with anyone, but uh will I will consider the dark places that masculinity takes us in War and Hell uh with Danhausen.
Okay. For mine, I picked that I wanna watch it with Ian Rotten first, and then what I did is The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford is the longest of the 4 movies, and that will give me the most one-on-one time with Ian, so that's what we're gonna watch.
That's in your letterbox for?
It is in my letter it's The Third Man, Raging
I
Bull, Ed
fucking
Wood, and that.
I fucking love that. I love that movie. That's awesome.
Let's see.
Oh, Eamon's question.
Yeah, I
That's where we were
somehow
at.
lost my place on that, though, which is funny.
Eamon's question was about Malcolm in the Middle, right?
Yeah.
The characters you replace, the wrestlers you'd replace in Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, yep.
I would go with I'm gonna go with Yuki Kamifuku and Andrew Cesar.
I guess I'd put
He's
that
not a wrestler though. He's just a bodybuilder who's good at computers.
Okay, so Sol Ruka then.
I'd put the match that, Kamifuku had with, Shoko Nakajima from MLW on there. Chris?
I'm going Angel Demonio and Sadaka.
Okay, from Pork. Q for the pod. Of all the recent sitcom revivals, what has been your favorite, and what sitcom do you hope gets revived next?
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really watched any of them.
I think I watched the first episode of the Frasier revival. So let's
As for what the sitcom that I hope would be revived is, I think the only one that would actually excite me to see revived with, mostly the same cast, because due to the ravages of time, it's just not possible to have all of the same cast. But if they brought back Get a Life with Chris Elliott, and had him 40 years older, but still just a weird little guy with a paper route and stuff, that could be very funny.
I also have not really gotten into sitcom revivals. Like, I was looking at a list of them just now, and the only one I know I've seen episodes of Fuller House against my will. I didn't enjoy that, but
I
shit.
gave the Arrested Development one a shot, and then I was just kinda like, "Alright,"
Oh,
sometimes dead is
I
better.
guess I did watch that, and that I didn't hate as much as Fuller House. I did enjoy The Paper. I thought that was a very watchable TV show. I don't know if that counts because it just has the one returning character from The Office, but
I mean,
yeah, they should
what
stop
if
bringing shows back.
they brought The Simpsons back and they made The Simpsons in 2026? That would
That'd
be
be
crazy.
crazy.
Who would voice Apu, though?
It's gotta be Hank Azaria I won't watch. Against his will.
I think they should compromise to make everyone happy. They take Apu away from Hank Azaria, but give him to Harry Shearer.
That's good. Alright. Cole, speaking of Frasier, Q for the P, fuck, marry, kill, Frasier, Niles, Martin.
Fuck them all, marry them all, and kill them all.
Best answer.
That's at the top.
Mary Martin. I think easy. Martin is easy Mary.
Yeah, I couldn't marry either of the other two.
I think I'm fucking Frasier. And then I'm killing Niles.
See, this is weird because I think my first thought was fuck Niles, but then I thought I like Frasier's bald little head, so it's tough. But I'm gonna stick with fuck my Niles and kill Frasier. I'm sorry.
Can you imagine what Kelsey Grammer's voice sounds like trying to do dirty talk?
No.
I'm gonna pause real fast so I can only imagine that.
Can't. No.
Oh my gosh. This one is a lot from Port. Q for the P. What produce show are you looking forward to the most, or just rank all the announced shows by how excited you are? Depends on how you're
So
feeling.
for
Dealer's choice.
for context, it is Jonathan Gresham, Lee Moriarty, Rocky Romero, and Genesis.
I mean, I guess it's Jonathan Gresham because I don't know. It's none of them. I don't like any of the thing they're doing. I don't like I don't like the people they're announcing.
Did you read or listen to that PW Insider interview?
I read it. I didn't listen to it. I read it.
It made me so mad.
It's so funny because the point where Mike Johnson goes, "You're saying a lot of words." Boy, he hasn't even fucking started saying words.
Yeah, and it's so the vibe I get from produce, I think I said this on the Discord, it is like they see how much money there is in the art world, the, quote unquote legitimate art world, and how stupid people can be with money, and they're just trying to get a piece of that.
It
And I think they're gonna get 0 return on investment. It's gonna be Sukaban all over again, the
it's
fucking,
so weird because
Joshi show with the haute couture fashion designers.
there's no one really that would be shocking to be on a Jersey Championship Wrestling show. They're just
Yeah.
announcing them in stupid ways. Gringo Loco's Charlie Santos or whatever his real name is, Charlie Santo. They're all fights. They're on multi-fight deals. They end a lot of them with "Welcome to the free market." I don't know what the fuck any of it means, but it makes me so angry.
And in
Oh,
that
God.
interview, there's a lot of talk about building a brand, and they mention one match once, almost in a throwaway fashion,
Well,
which really tells you what the priorities are
I
in this
believe
project.
the first show has no matches announced, and the
No,
second
no,
show has
no, it's Gresham versus Abe.
Oh, okay. So there's one match
But
there.
that's what I mean. It's buried in that interview. He mentions one match.
That's funny. I read that. I
once.
didn't even remember that. But then, like, the second show has 3 matches for some reason, including 2 super fights of Lee Moriarty versus Jonathan Gresham, which got, by the way, sucked last time, guys. Effie versus Fred Rosser, that super fight. And then Tyga style, parentheses, curated, Joey Janela versus Darian Bankston. Go fuck yourself. What other Haven,
Well, you guys wanted DPW back,
you fucking got it, you goddamn
and
nerds.
you guys convinced yourselves that you were Jersey Championship Wrestling fans because you liked the Mad Dog matches. This is the bed you've made for yourself.
Where's this Adam guy get his money from?
He's a publicist.
Okay.
It's he runs a publicity company.
All right. Haven, the pod for question. Favorite deathmatch guy?
Favorite deathmatch guy? I don't know. I don't know if we really know any.
Can't think of any.
I think my answer for this is probably Kodaka. Definitely not like the best deathmatch guy, but the guy who really got me into BJW. So yeah, like I have a very like soft spot in my heart. And I should be clear, the reason why I got into him in the first place was that my wife's a big Kenny Omega fan. And we tried to do, and I guess we're still trying to do, like an entire Kenny Omega career watch through. And during the DDT days, I felt like that was like the only match of his during his championship run that like I was at all interested in. And that set me down a path to BJW and probably inadvertently led me to y'all.
Hell yeah. Is it Pork on the Discord that's like discovered or watching Abdullah
Yeah,
Kuyashi?
Pork's been turned on to DDT.
That's fucking good shit. Speaking of Pork, question for Dan and Chris and Dan. What star rating would you give to Charlie versus Jonathan?
Is this? I don't know. Is this a bit? I don't know what they're referencing.
This is Survivor.
Survivor. It's
Oh,
not
okay. All
it's
right,
not
well,
Jonathan Gresham versus Charlie Dempsey.
no. It's Charlie Tiger versus Jonathan Tiger. Anyway, you guys talk about Survivor.
I
I'm
would
gonna go get a drink.
say better than the juggling. But I guess it's asking for a star rating, so I'm gonna go 3.25.
Gonna go 2.5.
All right,
But Jonathan does have wrestling ties. He is Lex Luger's like caretaker. Like he wheels Lex Luger around. It's like his job
we got to get these
on like a
guys.
day-to-day basis.
We got to get these guys in Boca Raton.
Well, Jonathan is there at the same match that like Rupert
Yeah.
is there because it's at that reality show convention. So Jonathan's also
Oh
there
yeah.
at
Speaking
ringside.
of reality show conventions, I'm very strongly considering on Saturday driving the 3.5 hours to New York City because I could get a photo op with Soraya and Sweet Soraya.
You gotta.
I'm really thinking about it.
Now, at the same time?
Yeah, no, $110 for Soraya Senior and Junior.
Okay, all right. My local comic book store just announced the little person who plays R2D2 in the Book of Boba Fett, the first female to do so. They're very excited that they're bringing her in. It's only $30 for a picture with her, I think.
Well, yeah, because she's not with her mom.
I mean, maybe she will be. I'll have to ask.
That would be the creepiest phone call.
Hey, is her mom gonna be there?
Fuck.
Listen, I've seen the people on Facebook in those comment section. Wouldn't even be the weirdest one. Did you guys see?
No,
Did you guys see
I
Dylan
have
Hines?
managed a comic book store. I know exactly what kind of creepy shit occasionally wanders in there.
Did you guys see Dylan Hines, which is like Bobby Fulton's son? Use AI to make it look like I can't think of his fucking name. Johnny Ace had like a huge crowd of people at his signing. I fucking love
Yeah,
it.
did you see Rhino?
Yeah, Rhino did one of
him?
himself where there was like 2 Hulk Hogans and the Pope were there to get signed autographed.
Hulk Hogan was getting Rhino's autograph. That's awesome.
2 Hulk
Hogans.
Even
I like it because Dylan just is like he's like powered through. He's gone live talking about how it's not AI. He's fucking typed thousands of words about how it's not AI, but it's just really good shit. Some asshole says named Sam would say, "Would you rather eat shit or die?" I'd rather eat shit.
I think I'd have to look. I'd have to see the shit before I made my choice.
Yeah,
kind of sore over here.
it depends on the shit.
I think I'd rather die.
All right. Pork, would you rather vote or eat shit? I mean, I'm going to vote. I'm not. Everyone listening is going to vote on the Hall of Fame nominees.
Yeah. I'm gonna vote in them.
No, you're not supposed to. Take KZ says, "Would you rather eat shit or shit eat?" All right, we got great listeners. Pork says, "Question for the podcast: What year of the VP 100 or its equivalent pre-violent people were you most unsure who'd take top spot?" I don't have a memory for things like that. That's rough.
I
Chris, you
feel,
have any?
yeah, there were a few years where I wasn't really paying attention because I just stopped watching wrestling, but I feel like 2018 was, at least for me, because I don't think I was quite in touch with the same bubble that I am now. It was very interesting to see how 2018 played out, watching the posts go up. This was back when it was the We Don't Know Wrestling 100.
Yeah, from what I will say, like, since I ran the list, I think, uh, like, most of the years since, it was pretty easily, Moxley or Danielson. The first year I did it, because that was the COVID year, and, Go Shiozaki won, and that wasn't even the Noah wrestler I expected, like, to place the highest. 'Cause, like, I thought Kaito, if any Noah wrestler was going to do it, that was, like, peak Kaito hype, and that was mostly, like, a lot of just, like, friends of mine in DMs who were way higher on Kaito than Go, so I was, like, shocked to see Go win it all. um, that was probably the most shocking where, like, in the years since, it was just like, "Alright, is this going to be like Danielson or is it going to be Moxley?"
I kind of think AEW existing is almost the worst thing to happen to
Yeah,
this sort of thing.
yeah, because the first year, like, people still weren't, like, bought in on AEW, like, people watched it, and, like, Darby did well, and, like, Moxley still did well, and other people who were working in AEW, but they still had, like, that weird early roster. Um,
I
so
also think that pre AEW people kind of they had their promotion and it was much more like you had people who were New Japan people, you had people who were DDT people, you had the occasional fucking freak who was a Ring of Honor person. And the convenience of AEW existing as kind of a all things to all people, not WWE, has just led to brain drain from all those. The DDT people become AEW people because AEW is on TV every week and they don't need a Wrestle Universe subscription for it. The PWG people obviously became AEW people because one of them exists and the other doesn't.
yeah, for sure. So that first year where, like, people that I did it, where people were like, "Alright, we're not gonna do fucking WWE," and, like, AEW, it's, like, fine. Like, there's wrestlers I like in AEW, but, like, there were still the Noah contingents, the New Japan contingents, and that's, like, from what I saw this year, that is becoming more as people, like, everyone still watches AEW, but, like, they're just like, "Alright, uh, I will watch the AEW stuff that I think is good, uh, and then, like, mostly fuck off into my world of CMLL or Joshi or, uh, back into New Japan or Dragon Gate or whatever." But it's not back to where it was.
Wait till you see when fucking Defunto's #1 this year. This will be the answer. Uh, Nick Yeoman, Q for the P. How much would you have to be paid not to watch any wrestling for a year? Furthermore, if you didn't watch any wrestling for a year, how confident are you that you could do all your VP duties, podcasts, vote in VP 100, blurbs, additional articles, without someone calling you out that you haven't actually seen anything? That second one, very easily.
Very,
That
very
is so,
11.
confident,
yeah.
yeah.
Not as like who? How many
11.
people are going to check
You
out
would,
that Gangrel versus Trevor Lee match? You have no idea
I'm
about that.
I,
I'm gonna. That sounds great to me. Not
You
gonna
know,
lie.
the fucking there was so much I just bullshitted through on that awards show thing we did.
Oh, we could tell.
Yeah, no,
But that's
I
part
was
of your duty.
I just got to a point where I'm like, I'm not watching any more wrestling. Like what I've seen is what I've seen, and I'm just gonna fake it.
Well, that's a good segue into how much would you have to be paid to not watch any wrestling for a full year?
Just clear off my credit card debt.
We're not in your life, man. I don't know what that is. Is that
It's
$600? Is that 60,000?
no, it's like a four
4
digits.
digit? Okay. See, that's
It
funny.
would only take 4 digits.
Mine was I felt like once there's a comma, it would be irresponsible to not take that money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, if it's
I mean,
$1,000 in, like, 1 year,
it's kind of like the notion that someone would have to pay me to not watch wrestling is like, oh my god, what would I do
Yeah.
if I couldn't watch wrestling? I'd have to finally catch up on all these books sitting by my bed.
I might talk to my loved ones. Uh, work it out
My
how
answer
much?
to this question is I depend if the Wizards are halfway decent, there's a good chance I never watch a second of wrestling again. So just
There
the
there is
holdout hope
there
you
is
could be.
someone I'm not going to get into too many specifics because I don't want to blow up someone's spot, but I have recently encountered someone who has watched and spreadsheeted 1,000 2026 matches already.
Holy
Boo.
shit.
And my first thoughts were all very unkind, in ways that would get me canceled if I spoke them aloud.
You
My
Was
second
this
thought
some
okay.
was my second thought was just to feel immensely sad because I know that if I had watched 1,000 matches already, it would be because my life was falling apart. It would be because I lost my job and
Well, this is
my loved ones don't, talk to me.
this is my new question. If on January 1st, I told you by March 19th, I need you to have watched and spreadsheeted 1,000 matches, how much would I have to pay you?
See you later, buddy. There's no price.
Well,
You can't be bought.
watched and
Nope.
spreadsheeted, I mean, I'm gonna hope that there's no way to verify that I've watched these. Spreadsheeting them will be very easy if I can
That's
just
fair.
bullshit my way through it.
Even that sounds
How many
I
how,
don't
how many IWRG matches happen in a month?
It's true. You probably did this for free last
Well,
year.
okay, so IWRG has already run 2,000 matches in 2026. So
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Like I can do that.
Mhm. Dokamoy, question for the pod. If you were running a produce show, who would you book Joey Janela against? Probably Yuki Kamifuku.
stole my gimmick.
Ah.
he would do a no, Dan, that would you would hate that because he would do like a 25-minute 50-50 match with her.
Well, if I was taking this as me running one of the produce, like, that promotion show, so if I'm involved in that, I'm already dead inside.
I would put him against Ricky Marvin.
That would I like Ricky Marvin has gotten great matches out of way lesser workers than Joey
That's
Janela.
that's what I mean. It's kind of like whenever Joey's being a dumbass, Ricky would just hit him for real. And they both kind of, want to be ring generals, except one of them actually is a ring general.
Yeah, you would get some like great alpha shit from Ricky.
Pork, question for the podcast, I guess. What do you think the worst thing the United States has done to Japan is? I have almost 20 photos of what it is.
Mm.
You know what? Honestly, the worst thing that we did was introduce professional wrestling to them.
It's probably fair.
I mean, by my recollection, professional wrestling was introduced to Japan by GIs during the occupation. Imagine if we had never done that to those noble souls. Imagine if we
TJP
just given them something cool like, Burger King.
TJPW wrestlers seem to really love going to Buc-ee's when they come to Texas. I think I'm gonna go with that. That can't be good.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So you're in Texas. What is Bucky's? Tell me.
But it's like Wawa, but bigger.
Okay.
No, no.
Again,
I'm trying to
I live
northeast this
north of
for him.
Pennsylvania. I've never been to a Wawa.
I can't give you a frame of
Do-
reference. It's a go for it, Dan.
Well, let's see. I don't know what to even have in Boston. Do you guys have do you have a Sheets or a Get Go?
No.
I don't know.
You're not going to be able to comp.
I don't know what the fuck have them, but this is the best gas station you've ever been to, and
Okay.
it's where lower middle class and middle class people. It's the vacation from the vacation. While you're driving to your vacation, you stop at one of these, and the kids fucking freak out.
So it's like the highway rest stop.
Yeah, but it's just like
on crack.
yeah, and it's just you pay lots of money for stupid bullshit, and it's like we could just go to a real grocery store and get better food at a grocery store, but instead we're at a gas station.
Oh, so the way you said, I was thinking like, oh, they're like sitting down and eating in
I
like a
know.
restaurant thing. No, this is
Nope.
this is
This is a
just
gas
a
station. I mean, I
literally.
think
Just a gas
they have
station.
chairs and stuff, but you're getting gas station food, you're getting sandwiches, you're getting beef jerky. It's so big that like you're parking a fucking quarter mile away to pump gas. It's
Do
the
you
best.
think that they just think that this is part of like this is American wrestler life because you're just driving everywhere and all you can do is like stop at the Roy Rogers on the fucking Mass Pike?
They have a very cute mascot who
Yeah.
I guess it's a beaver. That and at Bucky's you can buy lots of like Bucky related merchandise such as costumes. And I think that's the big reason. I think they all seem incredibly charmed by the way Americans eat. And I think this is like kind of like a way for that. It's like a Venn diagram of like cute animal plus holy shit, these people eat a lot of fucking sugar.
I remember in 2019 when Mania Weekend was in New York, the DDT and TJPW people came over, and there were a lot of pictures of Joshi wrestlers with their Sbarro pizza. And I don't know why. I was just like, this is funny, but also, it's like, come on. You guys are literally in New York City.
They're so dumb. That's the charming part of them.
Yeah, I mean,
they all share one brain cell.
Exactly. Even TJPW is not immune from CTE.
No, not at all.
I was once at the same Chicagoland shitty Mexican restaurant as Yuko Miyamoto. That's my.
I forget. Did I tell the
Vaguely.
Lowell story on the podcast?
I don't think so.
One time I went to in Lowell, Mass, the heroin capital of New England, as far as I've heard.
Shouts to Lowell.
Yeah, this was pre-pandemic. I can't remember if it was a Ring of Honor show that had New Japan people on it, or if it was the straight New Japan show that they did in Lowell. But I got there early because I wanted street parking. So I get there and I'm just walking around because obviously the venue isn't open yet. I'm not gonna, go sit and wait by the door like a fucking freak. And across from the venue is a sub shop. So I'm like, oh, I'll go in and get something to eat. And standing there staring at the menu, conversing amongst themselves, are in full like hoodie and baseball cap and everything, Tetsuya Naito and Evil. And I didn't want to disturb them because I'm sure that they were just relishing in their experience of getting to order a shitty sub in Lowell, Massachusetts. But that always stood out. Like Tetsuya Naito was dressed imagine, his usual entrance gear with the hoodie and hat, just with track pants over his little shorts. And Evil was dressed in normal person clothes, but still had his makeup on. So that was
You've told this story at least twice.
Have I?
This is why we got to have.
Okay.
I'm glad we have you.
I don't have many stories.
I'm the Will Washington of this podcast.
Do you guys?
I'm not.
Do you guys have Fazoli's anywhere near you? It's like really shitty Italian food. And my nephew,
yeah, we do.
My nephew thinks it's the fucking greatest thing you can eat. And it's so expensive for like fucking bad spaghetti. And it makes me so mad.
Going to a chain restaurant for spaghetti just seems
Insane, right?
to me.
I'm like, for this price, I could make you pounds and pounds of spaghetti.
For that price, for Frizoli's prices, like a couple dollars more, you can go to Olive Garden.
Exactly. It's okay. In Ashland, Kentucky, it's across the street, Chris. When he's at Fazoli's, he could cross the street and go to Olive Garden. I brought this up before. I said, I'll take you over there. I'll pay the difference. I can get
Yeah,
a drink while we're over there.
Can he articulate what it is he likes about this particular spaghetti versus spaghetti boiled in a pot at home?
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's fucking insane. He likes the cardboard bowl it comes in.
Oh, that's cute.
Well,
I'd like that
he's
too.
13. He's not a baby.
It's still cute. He's barely not a baby.
Oh my god. I'm really putting him on blast, sorry. He's a good boy.
Yeah, there is a Fazoli's somewhere here in Milwaukee. I have never been there, but Fazoli's was like the Saginaw Fazoli's was like a stop we went to many times when I was a kid.
Really upsetting. Eamon says, question for the pod. I feel like we've had this question. What's your favorite chair shot of all time?
The Rock blasting Ken Shamrock in the face.
That's really hard to top.
I'm just gonna say shout out to Balls Mahoney. Too many to count. One really good one on Joel Gerner. But yeah, he had some great ones.
Chris, you have one?
Not really. Like Rock on Shamrock is great. Triple H just getting demolished by chair shots is also phenomenal. But yeah, there's not like one that like springs to mind as this is the greatest chair shot ever.
I wouldn't call it the greatest ever, but I want to give an honorable mention to the time that Sean Spears reenacted the JFK assassination with Cody.
Whoa. Okay. That's some research material for me. I missed that one.
That was early on in AEW when they were still like, yeah, it's Sean Spears. You'll buy him as a top guy. And he blasted Cody right on the head with what they claimed was a gimmicked chair so that it, wouldn't give Cody brain damage or something. I don't know. They probably just filed down the seat of the chair so that they could bop him on the head. But Cody got the back of his head caught like the rim or something. And he was bleeding like he got shot in the back of the head. Like he got hit in the front of the head and then was pouring blood from the back of his head. It was like a magic bullet chair shot.
I took that sentence way too literally. I thought they really recreated the JFK assassination.
Okay, this Nick H question, I have questions in return. Nick H, Q for the P. In light of Swaggle's story on JBL's show, who would be the worst worker you could catch jacking off on a tanning bed?
Tommy Dreamer.
If I was a 15-year-old girl working at the store, Taz.
That's a fair one.
Is that the story?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know the story. I didn't know JBL had a show, so I'm like really behind.
Oh yeah, is that literally what they were talking about?
Oh, that I don't know, but I do know that's a story about Taz getting.
Yeah, I mean that is
Oh, I don't know.
Taz and Vince McMahon have both been tanning salon creeps.
Robert Kraft is another good answer here.
Is a worker for sure.
If you go to the Frank Pepe's Pizza in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, they might still have the signed Robert Kraft jersey up above one of the tables. And I remember going
Why
there.
Would they take that down?
Like the week after all that Robert Kraft stuff came out, sitting down and then casually looking up and being like, "Oh, there's Robert Kraft's signature." Anyway, so what you're saying, Dan, is if this had been on Swoggle's podcast, you would have heard it.
I would have heard it already. No, I have admitted to listening to one episode of that. That's all. That's all I've admitted to. Yeah, I don't want to. I guess all of them. I can't think of one that would be I'd be excited about. It says on the tanning bed, not like are they in the tanning bed?
Yeah.
In the tanning bed is funny because I just imagine somebody having the tan lines of like their forearm
Yeah, I'm
across
just
their lap.
confused by all of it. I don't like it. All right, Pork, favorite Huey Louie in the News song? What's this guy going through
Did you
right
say
now?
Huey Louie in the
Oh,
news?
I did say Huey Louie in the News.
Yeah,
Uh,
Donald's nephew's Huey Louie in the news.
I want a new drug.
Um, I'm struggling on this one. Just going to give a shout out to the classic record "Sports" by Ass Factor 4, which is the cover of Huey Lewis's "Sports," but with all the faces taped over. Ass Factor 4, band that deserves more love.
The Power of Love, speaking of love. Question for the podcast, besides Pat, who's the coldest white boy at the Joshi Show?
Andrew Cesar.
He doesn't go to the shows though.
All right, fair.
It's got to be. Trying to think, the only one I can think of who I know actually goes to the shows is Brad Cat. I'm pretty sure he's dead in a ditch somewhere. So
What's colder than that?
true. Love is the only thing colder than death.
A couple questions from Chris that were in the founders chat. He said, "Why did I agree to the podcast on the first day of March Madness?" We don't plan ahead on any of this. There's no way we could have known. Uh, and how did Dan allow this as a degenerate gambler? I'll have you know, I don't really gamble on March Madness. Not that this has stopped me before. I'm not a college basketball guy. Like, I
It's
know about it. I fill out brackets.
it's still like the degenerate gambler's Christmas
It
is March
is. It is.
Madness.
I mean, I am.
So Dan, question about your bracket. The only team I could think of that anyone would ever give a shot in New England is maybe Connecticut. So how far do you have them going?
Oh, they're winning it all, bud.
Thank you.
Um,
It makes me feel good. Thank you for lying to me.
for I'm 1 year I got what was it? I got like 27 or 28 of the first round matches right, which was terrible because if I got 30 right, fucking what's his name? Why can't I think of who owns Berkshire Hathaway? Warren Buffett. Well, I used to work for a company he owns, so like I would have won like a fucking $1 billion, some stupid. I don't know. I think it's a million. I don't know what it is. But
I used to work at a corporate law firm, and I won that one, and that paid for 2 vacations to the Bahamas. That was pretty
so
sick.
my buddy still works there, and so I enter with him is if you get a perfect bracket, you get $1 million a year for life. So that lasted
Yeesh.
that lasted till today. So we're doing well. Um, let's see. Breakdown of your March Madness gambling plans. Like I said, I entered brackets. I gambled on hockey and NBA tonight, and they all lost. Question for the podcast. If you had to watch an MJF match for every match you watch from whoever you voted number one in the VP 100, would you still watch their matches? If yes, at what ratio would you not be willing to watch their matches?
Well, my number one was Sabu, and there aren't
Oh,
going to be any more
you
Sabu
won this one.
matches.
You fucking
So
won this question.
yeah, that's my perfect bracket right there.
Shit. See, my number one was Mystico. And it's like one of his big cases. He just wrestles constantly. This would ruin it.
Yeah, I mean, I had Avisman, so like I'm probably exposed to a similar amount of MJF matches a year, so it probably doesn't change much.
I would definitely watch this.
Do we think? Question for the podcast: is the MJF hate just getting a little too performative at this point?
Probably. People seem really mad about his pants, and that seems stupid to me.
Well, there are thousands of Terry Funks, so clearly he can be one of them.
Orchid, who is your number one?
Chihiro.
What if you said
So,
MJF? That's the real perfect bracket.
That'd be a trip. I mean, I did for MJF is somebody who I actively go out of my way to watch wrestle, and like to actively go out of my way to avoid watching. Sorry. And he still ended up getting my match of the year last year. So
It's true.
I mean, I don't know. I think if it was somebody like Moxley, different story. But Chihiro, yeah, I could probably do it. I'd hate it, but it would give me a lot of good writing content. So
Haven, question for the pod: is Dokumoi's question confusing or am I stupid? I don't think you're stupid, but I think I understood it. I don't know.
I think it was a little confusing, but
Isabel, first they ask what, and then they ask favorite chain diner. I've talked about my love of Waffle House. I mean, it's just, it can't be beat. Any other
I
diners?
feel like New England
Perkins.
doesn't. I feel like that's just not a New England phenomenon to have the chain
not
diner.
really. When I was in New England, we had to rely on IHOP for
Yeah.
like hungover breakfast.
And even then, I don't really think of IHOP as a diner. I just think of
No,
it as
it's
like a
not.
chain restaurant. Actually, New England does have a chain, Mary Ann's. And actually, no, the real answer, I think it's a chain of 2, and they're both in New Hampshire, as far as I know. But the Red Arrow Diner, that's the one. That's the one that all the presidential candidates go to and
Yep.
pretend like they give a shit.
You get the
when I
smiley
was in,
face fries. That place rocks.
when I was in school in New Hampshire, there were a lot of 3 a.m. meals there.
Same.
My late night high school diner was usually Denny's. It was just more convenient geographically, but I would, even though I love a Moons Over Miami, I'm still a Waffle House guy. Eamon, question for the pod: how would you rank the following teams? Kings of Wrestling, Briscoe Brothers, Motor City Machine Guns, Young Bucks.
Briscoes, Wide Gap. I don't care.
Okay. Briscoes, Wide Gap, Kings, Bucks, Machine Guns probably. I don't know. Pat, you got a...
Number 1, Young Bucks. Number 2, the Briscoes. Number 3, Kings of Wrestling. Then there's a gap as deep as the Marianas Trench, and then the Machine Guns.
Chris?
Briscoe's number 1. Then, yeah, I really don't care.
Hell yeah.
Probably Young Bucks.
Last question. Pork, who on the current W roster who hasn't already had a notable indie run do you think, if they were released, could have a great indie run?
Could you repeat that, please?
I don't want to.
Almost when he finally released, he's gonna have a great match in Boca Raton with Johnny Fairplay.
Did you say a person's name?
Almost.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
almost what?
Okay. Nikita Lyons.
Nikita Lyons is a tough one to beat because she will be having some freakish matches. I remember when I went to a women's wrestling revolution show that what's her name, Gabi from Tough Enough was on, the Brazilian woman, and she was stuck in a submission hold and accidentally rolled the wrong way trying to reach the ropes. And I think that Nikita Lyons would be like that times 1,000. Who hasn't already had a notable indie run? I'm just trying to think of who the... Oh, it would be Rhea Ripley going on a crazy tour having Girl Takeshita matches.
See, it says
I
could.
stand by that judgment.
It says could, not would. So I think Lesnar would be real fun showing up and beyond.
Lesnar was in OVW though.
Does that count as an indie run?
No, it doesn't. I'm
Okay.
just fucking with you.
All right. I think that's it. Vote in this Hall of Fame poll. It'll be somewhere here. Read Orchid's post whenever it goes up. If it takes a long time, it's my fault. You guys got anything else?
Remember to do your taxes.
Oh my god, I thought it was April 19th. It's March 19th. Like, they're fucking late, man.